TGIF, everyone. What's happening, Captain? Absalom Pianki TV. Before we get things rocking, get this show popping, I'm just gonna let y'all know some up and coming shows we got going on. Wednesday night is a double header. We got music from DJ Music himself, internet radio station, classic R&B jams, man. Broadcasting the shows, The Beat, and Keep the Beat. So I hope you don't got two left feet. You smell me? On the Beat Showtime is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's hosted by DJ Music, once again, along with co-host Shaw Wicked Willie. Yeah. And also on the Beat Showtime, we'll be discussing what's going on and taking place within the news. We got the segment going on. It's called Keep the Beat, hosted by Shaw Willie and Classic Ruby. They're going to be talking about certain things, telling stories, taking you back down memory lane. Yeah, they ain't playing no games. Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got the show going on entitled Article Reactions, hosted by none other than Shaw Willie and the lovely Classic Ruby. You do have the opportunity to financially support the channel in order to help it grow. So in the very least of that manner, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Here's your host, Shaw Willie. Could you please tell the people what's the dilly?
Why, certainly. I'll tell them what the dilly. TGIF, everyone. What's happening? What's going on? How are you? What's happening? Hope you are enjoying your Friday evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is good to see you. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you had a great week. You know, it's been an interesting week, I must say. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But, you know, we got to start it off because Jackie, she did the darn thing. I hadn't even pushed the live button. She came through and she said, hey, let me bless you. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you. I do appreciate it. You know how we do over here. Now, you have made Sheed sing. Now, I don't know if you like it or not, but, you know, that's our little stick over here. She, you know, he blesses the people with his voice. And you have deserved that. You earn it. So, here goes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, but I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, it's been an interesting week, weather-wise, and in the news, YouTube, all of that. You know, and then grocery stores, that gas pump. It's been interesting all around, if you know what I mean. How's your wallet doing? How's your portfolio doing? Anybody glad to turn off the heat, save a little money? Man, I'm telling you, it is something else. It is really something else. I actually, I can't think of what it is right now, but I looked at it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put it in my shopping cart. 2 days later, I went back and it was 50 cents more. I'm like, what? How dare you? That's not fair. Stop it. Yeah, it rises. Yes, it rises. Just like in nature. Yes, yes, Jack Spade. Yes, yes. How are you doing, Jack? Always a pleasure. Don Teasy, take it easy. Vonda H, Vonda H, Vonda H. You know we say it 3 times over here. Lil Rock, yo, yo, yo. Always consistent, I tell you. Mr. DJ Music, run them files, run them files. How you doing? Our inside joke and all of those. I don't know, Absalon, you in here? What's going on? How are you? Thank you so much for the drop. It's a pleasure hearing you in the intro. I like that. It's a pleasure. But yeah, tonight, guys, let's have a conversation. Like I said, I'm always wanting to make you think for yourself. And I always put that on the end. Think for yourself. Regardless of the information that you receive, think for yourself. Like, I agree. I disagree. As long as you think for yourself, that is the major thing. Don't let somebody just put everything up in your brain and, just, uh, what is the word? Program you. I am high value. I am this. I am that. I took this pill. I took that pill. 51% of black males do not have children. Do not have people to program you, please. You know, take what you need and kick the rest out the door, please. What's going on, Emmanuel? Good to see you always, always. Just DeAndre, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, as I was saying, for tonight, should be a good show, especially with your participation. We're going to look at how people say one thing, try to flip it on the end, but that doesn't work. Your original statement is your original statement. It doesn't matter how you change it later on. You can't explain it away. You cannot. And we have to be careful when it comes to social media. So that's what we're going to end up talking about tonight. But without further ado, you all know what to do. Let's give that wonderful and that lovely and that classy lady a round of applause. Welcome come on, welcome her everybody. Classic Ruby, everybody.
Seriously, I work for applause. So if you want me to work, you're gonna have to applaud. Oh, there, wait, I hear one. Wait, there's another one. Oh, there's a third one. Okay. Hey, Shaw, how you doing this lovely TGIF?
I am doing well. Got my wine ready. I'm ready. Yes. I'm
Good.
taking a
I'm
sip.
interested because I'm gonna be real with you. I have no
Mm-hmm.
idea who's this person is in the thumbnail. I have no idea who that is.
Well, I'm going to break it down to everyone because I didn't know who he was, and it's a little story behind it. And I found it to be interesting. It wasn't interesting until he made it interesting. So let me break it down for you. Okay. Let me see. I think I got a banner because I always like to tell people, where I get stuff from. Credit the people. Ain't
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that.
Of
There you
course.
go. Fair use. So I'm skimming through the YouTube streets. You know how we drive. Zoom. Oh, this is interesting. So this particular gentleman, Channel is his name is well, his channel name is the Kevin Samuels Roast Network. That's the name of his channel. So he started a um, well, yeah, it's a segment. He started a segment. He said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to teach the women what men do to try to get in them draws." I said, "What?" So this particular guy happened to be the first one that he used as an example. So I listened
Mm.
to it, the guy's commentary. I said, "That's interesting. Okay, fine, all right." So he gave me some things to look out for. So that was the end of his show. I watched it. He uploads. He doesn't do live streams yet anyway. So I look at it. I'm like, okay, interesting. And I move on in life. That was like on a Monday. A couple of days later, I guess because I clicked on this, Paris Milan video came up. And I said, wait a minute, that looks like that same guy. So I clicked in. It was a live stream that she posted maybe like a day before that I looked on it, like maybe it was a Wednesday. So I scanned through it to get the gist of it. And what happened is he did his post, people reacted to it, he felt some kind of way, so he started doing tours to say, y'all don't you got me effed up. You don't know what's going on. That ain't how it going. See, I was saying this and I was saying that and I meant this and y'all don't know me and that type of thing. Yeah.
Mm. Mhm.
So he ended up going viral because everyone is saying, "What the man?" So everyone had their idea of what they read about it. So what I have on the screen, I want you all to read it and you interpret it for yourself. Then after that, we're going to talk about it, and then he's going to explain what was going on, which you will find it'll be a little bit different than what you read. But he's, like I said, he went around doing tours. He messaged the woman, Paris Milan, sent receipts and uh, tried to explain in emails. And then he went over here and went to people's shows, and it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. But
Mm.
that's why I wanted to be a teaching moment because you have to understand what you post is what you post. It doesn't matter you go back later and say, well, no, see what happened was, and then see what happened was. It doesn't work like that. And you find that in just think of recently in the YouTube streets. We've had um, Kevin Samuels to pass away.
Mhm.
And we have content creators that have said, have came out because you put that in your title, you get more views and all of that. So people have been out there using it for views. So YouTube have been looking around like, okay, he gonna say something. Now we know he been hating on him, so let's see if he gonna say something. Let's see if he come out. Is he gonna come out and say something? What? He came out and said something. So
Mm.
people had called him out and said, oh, please, we got all this footage on YouTube that you were hating on the man. And now you're going to come up here and say, oh, well, we were cool or whatever he said. I don't know. The clips I saw around YouTube was, was put together, was edited, and it was just saying, hey, you full of crap. And
Mhm.
because we have a regular segment, if somebody say Kevin said.
Mhm.
For those of you all that don't know, you can see the original author for yourself. Here goes.
Kevin said, and 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 Kevin. And what about Kevin? And Kevin doing good work. And Kevin, and Kevin, and Kevin, and Kevin, and Kevin, and Kevin.
Shut up.
You're doing good work. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna get over that ever.
So, you have that. And you can't do anything about that. You can't erase it. You can't try to over explain it. Well, see what happened last month when I said that, see what happened was. So you have to be careful of what you first say because you can't erase it.
Mhm.
And that's just the whole point of this particular show today.
I agree. I mean, that being said, though, I don't know if I mean, on one side, I feel like, and I've said it before in other contexts, but the internet's forever. So once you put something onto the internet, it exists forever. And even if you think it's gone, it's somewhere, right? Um, Even if you can get someone to take down their post, it doesn't mean someone else doesn't have that posted somewhere else, or they don't have it downloaded already or something. So, it always can come back up and whatever. Like, the internet's forever. And once you put something on the internet, it's not like the way it used to be before the internet, where, you could have a horrible, humiliating experience in city A and just go to city B and reinvent yourself, and 20 years later, there's no proof that that humiliating thing ever happened to you, right? Like, it's not like that. It's not like you have to be newsworthy for it to possibly be recorded. All you need is to be an idiot with a cell phone, pretty much, and that's it. Or to be around idiots with cell phones, and that's it. Now, you got video, you got picture evidence, you got all this evidence of something maybe you might regret later. But these people, I can't even say kids because this is grown ass people too. It's like they don't process that, and they care about the immediate clout, and it's like they erase the possible long-term effects or implications or whatever, because like they can't see past the drug that is clout, and clout is one hell of a drug.
Yeah, it
Tricky.
is. It really is. We see that all the time. A little bit too much, and the longer you hear, the more you see it. So
Exactly.
that is why it's so important. The first thing you say, if you said that, stand on your disrespect. You know,
Mm.
and it's okay. Just stand on your disrespect, and nothing wrong with that. If that's what you said and you meant, keep that same energy. You know,
Yep.
so that's one thing that people don't know how to do. And doing YouTube, Facebook, whatever tours, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to erase the first thing you said.
Mm-mm.
So let me go ahead and read this post,
All right.
and then we can get started. Let me find my page. Okay, there it
Thank
is.
God, because I was trying to read it, and girl, those are some very little words. I'm like, I was trying to, scroll it and whatever. I'm like, I can't read that. It's just,
Yeah, it is small. So I went to the big page, as they say.
hmm
All right, so he says, I asked this woman I've been talking to for a minute for $100. I get a, what do you need it for? When do I get it back? A whole bunch of questions. LOL. I planned a trip for us in the mountains in Colorado for 4 days. Hotel costs per night $200. White water rafting $150 per person. Zip lining $125 per person. Hot air balloon $250 per person. SUV rental $80 a day, not to mention food costs. I had all this covered. Just canceled everything and got my deposits back. I didn't need the $100. I was just seeing what type of response I get if I ask for it. I didn't ask, when do I get my money back when I was planning the vacation? I was just handling business. People don't think long term.
Um, okay, listen. I have to say something about this, because first of all, and I've been saying this, and trust me, you can check my receipts. I don't just flip flop, to whatever's popular today. I've been saying this for 7 years. I think shit testing is stupid as hell, and it says more about the person doling out the shit test than it does about the person responding to it. Right? Like,
Mhm.
if you think about it, so you're, first of all, what are you, an image? What are you, 12? So you're gonna play games and pretend stuff. Like, I can't stand hearing these stories, because to me it makes the person telling the story look like such an insecure clown. almost, right? Just from jump. So that's the first thing I think. I'm like, oh God, you pathetic loser. A. B, I always think you're lying. Always think when the person handing out the shit test, I always think that they're lying about all that they actually did and the fact that they didn't need the money and da da da. Because to me, it sounds very much like you needed the money and you were just in your damn feelings that, instead of her just throwing the money at you, that she asked you to qualify why it is that you need the money and when would she be getting her money back. And then third of all, my biggest issue with all of this though is, bro, as he rightfully said, he planned a
Yes.
vacation for two. He planned, right? He didn't just on the spur of the moment. She didn't demand a vacation. He just gave it to her. She didn't say, I want $10,000 and he just handed it over, right? He wanted a vacation. He wanted a vacation with a nice warm body by his side. He was dating this girl. He wanted to bring her with him. And then he set about planning and saving for the vacation he wanted over time, right? It didn't suddenly happen to him. He had time to work out, maybe it was 3 months, 6 months, however long it was, to plan his finances accordingly. That is very different than someone saying, in the middle of the month, you don't know what bills they just paid, what obligations they have coming up, how much they make, how much free money they have after paying all their bills and whatever. You don't know any of that, right? And yet you're just going to suddenly say, I need $100 right now. Well, okay. So let's say I care about you. I'm still
Okay.
going to need to know why you need it and when I'm going to get my money back. Like, that's just common sense 101. Well, why? Because I also need that $100, right? I'm not independently wealthy. I also need the money.
You
So if
do? I thought you were six figures. You're on YouTube, aren't you?
exactly, I'm on YouTube. That's why I need the money. So, so right. So first thing, I need the money. But if you give me something like it's a real emergency, right? There might be something I'm willing to sacrifice, put off, take a penalty on paying late, whatever, to help you out. That's thing number one. It depends. I'm going to evaluate your thing that you need versus my needs and see which one wins out in essence, which one's more important. Because if it's something really important, then I'm willing to sacrifice because I care. That's the first thing. The second thing is, well, when am I getting my money back? Because just like he had to plan for the vacation, I need to now plan my finances around having a hole of $100 for I don't know how long. So I'm asking you when would I get it back? So even just what she actually said and responded is the way any reasonable adult, man or woman, should have responded to an immediate request for money from somebody. Like that, I this is
Yes.
crazy.
I have I don't have any money, and there's someone I know that is starting a new job next week.
Mhm.
If that person would have asked me for some money, even though I don't have it, I will skip my what's my bill? What's this bill I got? The internet bill. I would
Mhm.
skip the internet bill and give it to her so she can start, get her bus card and all that stuff so she can begin work.
Right.
And I know later on she'll give it back to me.
Mhm.
So again, if she would say, "Girl, Shar, you got $25." I think it's $25. Was it $22? Something like that for a bus card. So I
Mhm.
said, I really don't. But what do you need it for?
Mhm.
Oh, girl, I'm about to start a new job. I said, oh, that's wonderful. Oh,
Mhm.
wow. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. I said, well, you know what? I don't have it like that. I said, but when do you think I get it back? Because my bill is due on, and I actually have it here.
Mhm.
It is due on the 29th. It's due May 29th. I said, you think you'll have it by the 29th? Because, see, if you pay your bill on time, and this is a lesson, everyone, if you pay your bill on time all the time, especially for one straight year, if you are late, they will give you one courtesy credit. They
Mhm.
won't charge you late fees.
Right.
So I'm thinking of all this in my mind before I tell her no. So she'll say, my first check is not until June 3rd. So now I know I'm going to be able to help her. I'm not going to get it back until June 3rd or whatever date, 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever I see her. And I know I can take care of myself, that's covered. I'll be able to still come on YouTube because I'm not six figures and I'll have internet, you know? So that's sound like what a woman would do, ask a valid question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with you. Let me tell you what I got out of this as well. Um, you know what? I interrupted you, so go ahead. I'm sorry. I just remembered you weren't finished.
No, I was good. I'm done.
Oh,
Anything else I have to say is just revolving around, how he looks like he in prison or he's used to being in prison. And yeah, that he thinks, crazily enough, that what all the Manosphere talking points are saying are just like, again, it's these applying things indiscriminately, right? Like we've seen court cases and whatnot, right? Where people take these stupid rules and the stupid shit testing and whatever and just apply it indiscriminately and then think that they did something like heroic. And you're like, no, no, honey, no. You didn't even you didn't even use logic. This is not logical. This is not equal to you gave yourself months to plan something and to budget accordingly for something, and then you ask someone to suddenly interrupt their own budget immediately and no questions asked and without any information about when they'd be getting it back, right? And maybe they can't afford it. It's like you didn't like it's not equal. It's not an equal proposition and da 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 da. A and B, you planned the vacation you wanted. So still you gave her something you wanted. Like it's not like you gave her what she wanted. Now if you said you were going to a spa and then shopping spree on Rodeo Drive and then you're just gonna sit on an island in beautiful Morocco or something, I could believe that you chose that for her. But whitewater rafting and this and that sounds very much like what the man, right, would want to do on his vacations. So let's keep it a buck here. Like the whole entire thing just sounds very self-oriented. Like he's this very self-centered type of person. I'm just saying.
okay. Well, sound to me as I read it that he said you've been talking to her for a minute, so that tells me that you know of this woman. So if you know of this woman, why did you ask her for the $100? Well, according to this, he said, I didn't need it. I just was, I just want to see.
Uh-huh.
But how dare her ask me all these bunch of questions? I had planned
Mm-hmm.
this nice trip and everything, but since she gonna ask me all them questions, I'm just gonna cancel it. How about that? And I got my deposit back, so I ain't losing nothing. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
hear when I read this. That's what I read.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys in the chat room if you all agree with us or you get something else out of what I just read here on a post. You know, do add in to say, hey, Shar, hey, Ruby, I don't see it that way. I think the woman was selfish or whatever. If that's what you think, yeah, write in the chat room and we'll see what happens. But now we're going to take a listen to him saying what we read, what he wrote,
Mm-hmm.
really meant.
Mm.
Get ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's speed it up here. All right. Should be around there somewhere. I'll make sure I turn it up.
Let's get this cleared up. Let's see, people talk that shit, but they really don't know what the fuck they talking about, and they don't know who they talking to. So I wasn't gonna give a response, but I'm gonna give a breakdown about that last post that I did about the woman who I said give me $100, and yeah. So first of all, check this out. I'm talking to this woman. I said, and we just having a regular. Me and this woman, we just having a regular conversation, right? Me and this woman, we just having a regular conversation. And out of nowhere, I was like, yo, let me get $20. I knew she kind of laughed it off. And I was like, no, better yet, let me get $100. Asking her this, she states, well, what do you need the $100 for? When am I gonna get my money back? Yada yada yada. I had a date planned for us in Colorado. Canceled everything, all right? Because I said, fuck that. Understand this. People talk that shit, but they really don't know what they're talking about. They really don't.
Do we know what he's talking about? I mean, he keeps saying people talk, but they don't know what he's talking about. He just repeated what he wrote. Did you all hear anything different? Anybody?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I
Okay.
heard that first. When he wrote it, right, he made it sound like he reached out and said, "Oh, girl, I need to borrow $100," and then, but no, this time the way he made it sound was first he said, "Yo, let me get 20. Actually, let's make it a solid 100." Like
Yeah.
that's a different proposition, right, Vonda?
You know what? It's just even saying it like that. I mean, to me personally, I just don't think that men should be so comfortable and so swift and so quick to ask a woman for money. To be honest, I don't think people should be asking anybody, people, for money, because to me, money is a personal thing. You know, people have to work to get their money, so don't just be, oh, get out. Let me get 20. You know what? Let me get 100. Maybe my 20 and my 100 are not easy to come by like yours, because he make it sound like it's so just incidental. Oh, let me get 20, like he's asking for $1. You know what? Better yet, let me get 10.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're 20 to 100, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. What is this all about?
Right.
Okay.
Like,
Now, there's some more, and I don't want to go and play somebody else's stuff, but like I said, he's been doing tours. He's been on tour. If I remember everything, whatever I remember, I'll tell you at the end. But we're just going to go with what we got here. This should carry us the whole show. If not, I'll fill in what I saw and I'll look for it and maybe I'll play a little clip. But I don't want to really go to other people's channel to say. But if I find it, I'll do it. Maybe we'll see.
all right.
All right, so let's play some more and see what we hear. And you're a funny Don Teasy. Let me see, my phone flash. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Oh, made she sing. Wait a minute here.
Broke genius. I don't think no panties were even taken off at any point in this $2,000 request.
$2,000. No, nothing has been taken out or nothing. So that hasn't happened. Not at all. All right. So you are on the panel. Thank you so much, Vonda, for contributing to the show. You have made She sing. So She, you know what to do. I ain't got to ask you. You know what to do. So.
Hit it, she.
Hit it, She. Thank you so much.
See, but okay, I want to answer this really fast. I'm sorry, LaShawn.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you said you dated this woman and she asked you for $100 to pay a bill, right? And then you were expected to have it and to do that. But here's the thing. The only way you know that she needed the $100 to pay a bill is either because she volunteered the information in advance, right? While she was asking, she said, "I need to pay this bill. That's $100. Can you handle that for me, or can you loan that to me, or whatever?" So she either gave you the information, or she said, "Can I borrow $100?" You said, "For what?" She said, "To pay this bill," right? And so in essence, you're still saying the same thing that happened in the scenario. He just said, "I want $100." She said, "What for? And when are you going to pay me back?" And he canceled everything. That's it. She ain't shit. She didn't say no. She just asked him what it was for, right? Women, and here's the thing that's different. Normally, when we're appealing to men to pay our bills or to pay for something for us, we tell them what they're paying for, right? Like,
Right.
that's part of our story. When we're making our plan to try to get this money, it's part of our story.
Yeah,
How are we going
especially
to
if it's a
sell it?
plan, it's going to be a sob story. Oh, well, this and that. So
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get a reason.
Right. You're gonna get the reason. You're gonna get the information. You're even gonna get, I'll pay you back when tax time comes. Women volunteer the information normally in advance. But if they didn't volunteer the information, right, because maybe they know that their stuff is shady, they're expecting you to ask those questions, and they're just hoping you don't ask the right question, right? But either way, they don't get mad that you asked them the questions or that they needed to give you some type of details, because nobody is just coming out of money and just throwing it away, right? Like, you have to
Mm-hmm.
give information. And what his issue is he shouldn't have had to give her no information. I shouldn't have to tell you what I need it for. I shouldn't have to tell you if I'm going to pay you back. If I am, when I'm going to pay you back. I shouldn't have to tell you nothing. I should be able to say, bitch, give me $100. And you go, how fast do you need it? And that's it. Right? Like,
Then you should just pass out $100 bills to people who are hanging out in front of 7-Eleven. You got any spare change? You know what? I got more than spare change. I have $100 to give to
right.
you. I don't even have to know you. You don't have to tell me what you're gonna do with it, when I'm getting it back. Just give it away to a homeless person. It's
Mm-hmm.
like money is hard to come by,
Right.
so it's like,
Yeah.
to me, I just find it to be very, very uncomfortable when a man asks a woman for money. I'm sorry, that's just me. I don't. That's just the way that I feel.
See, I don't mind so much as a woman being asked for money by a man or whatever, depending on the situation. I don't mind that. Um, but when I'm looking at the situation, if I was gonna be a little unbothered by the lack of explanation or whatever, it would be by a sugar baby to a sugar daddy, right? Um, but other than that, like, I think it's just like, if anything, I would expect a man to have, a certain level of humility and whatever, because men are the providers, whatever, right? That they would feel the need to appeal to you and say, bro, like, almost like, kind of like, yo, I feel ways of having to ask you, but I got this bill I have to pay for my mom's, and my it's before payday, and da 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 da. I trust I got you
Mm-hmm.
back. Like, I would expect that
Right.
kind of attitude from a man. An
Right.
entitled attitude, like, I should be able to just ask you for money and you
And
just
you
give it
give
to
it.
me, and
Yeah,
no
you know what?
explanations, nothing. That's
I
weird.
I will agree with
Yeah.
that, Ruby. You're absolutely correct. It does depend on the situation, because I mean there are situations, and I do have males that have I've come across, and I would have no problem lending them, because they're telling me what it's for. That's how they're asking me. They're telling me what it's for and when I'm going to be getting it back, before I
Mhm.
even have to say, what's it for? When am
Right.
I getting my money back? I don't even have to say that. If these men are coming to me and they're presenting it that way, and it depends on the man, you know, then I'd be more than happy, oh, don't, no worries, I got you. Here you go. No big deal. But it's a very small number.
Mhm.
I can count on one hand, and maybe three fingers, give or take a
Yes.
finger, but I don't part with my money willy-nilly. And guess what? I just don't go and ask men for money. That's
Mhm.
another thing. That is another thing.
True.
My mother and I was raised that, if someone gives you something, they're going to expect something back. So I don't ask men for money, because I'm not trying to give them any favor back. Now, if you want the money that you gave me, oh, I can pay you back on this day, but I'm not giving you anything in between.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not doing that. So, but no, I don't take kindly to gifts. Oh, here, I just want you to have this. Oh, no, you don't. You want me to have this today, and then tomorrow you want me face down, ass up. Absolutely not.
All right.
Yeah.
No, thank you,
Yeah.
sir. That's too big a price to pay.
Yep. I agree 100%. It's weird. Just weird. Like, and I'm not sure why it's being missed by some of the gentlemen, right? Dude, like, think about that for a second, LaShawn. Like, I just want y'all to think about it. If a woman just came up to you, right? Like, so she's fine. You've been talking to her for a minute. Let's pretend y'all even been sleeping with each other, right? So that's not an issue. And she just said, yo, give me $20. Actually, no, make it 100. And that's it. Are you saying that given that context, you would just give her the $100? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You would, because at that point, it's going to click into your head. Oh, wait, normally women volunteer the information that this woman asked, which is why, and you paying me back, right? And if so, when? That's just what it is. Like it's a weird. This is a weird scenario, and it's extra weird that he's then saying, well, she asked the questions, so I canceled everything and broke up with her. Because she asked questions? She asked questions that anybody would ask, whether it was a man or a woman. And anybody would expect that information before handing over money.
And
Anybody.
on top of that, are you really, is this dude really trying to say that he's dealing with a chick that would just give any dude money who asked her of it? It's like, oh, can I get some money?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what did this woman mean to you?
Right.
That she would give you $100. What type of relationship did she have with you? I mean, is this a friendship? Or is this a dating situation? In a dating situation, that there's no room for exchange of money unless, there was an agreement where we talked about that. But if we're in a
Mm-hmm.
dating situation, I'm not paying your bills and you are not paying mine. When I come to the situation, my bills are already paid. And guess what, dude? Yours better already be paid. And if they're not, I really don't care because I'm not paying them.
Mm. Mm. And let's remember that he said at the end, he said some people like have no, foresight or like, vision into the future. I can't remember the exact wording he used, but basically like some people just, are not good at looking into the future and planning for it. But here's the thing, that's exactly what her questions was evidence that actually, yes, she's very good at that. Because even if
Yeah.
it's $100, she budgets herself, so she cares if $100 suddenly goes missing because she has a budget. And so she wanted to plan for the future. When am I going to get the $100 back? How many things do I need to move around? What adjustments am I going to need to make in my life? And then most importantly, are all these adjustments worth it? Because are you asking me because you want some new Gucci shoes, or are you asking me because you got something you need to pay that's important, right? Though that is literally the ability to plan for the future. Whereas in what he's suggesting is that, well, if you don't just shut up and just give the man whatever money he's asking for, so that way you can get the free whitewater rafting trip or whatever the hell it is from him, right? Then you have no ability to plan for the future. But again, as I said, it really sounds like the kind of trip that most women go on to humor their man, not because they were desperate to go on to it. So,
But you know what? To me, I'm just going to say, with the way that this guy sets this whole thing up, to me, I don't care what anyone says. It sounds like a form of manipulation, a form of gaslighting. It's
mm-hmm,
like, for him to even measure, the trip against a funky, because that's what it sounds like, a funky $100. You
mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I planned this, this trip, and this trip costs, several times over this $100, and I asked you for $100 and you couldn't give it to me, and you ain't worth it. That, to me, that's gaslighting.
yeah,
Dude, whether I gave you $100, whether I gave you some ass or not, unless this was something that we, specifically spoke about in the beginning.
mm-hmm,
This is a trip you planned because you wanted to spend time with me, not because you wanted to see if I was going to pass this little funky $100 test. Because you
right,
know what? $100 is not a lot of money, but you know what? We're going to put it on based on, who are you asking of this $100? You asking a single mom, for this $100, and like you were saying, does she have to move things around? For me,
Right.
$100 is not a big breeze, but you know what? $100 adds up. And
yeah,
I just can't take $100 and just flush it down the toilet and not worry about it and continue to do that once a month with
mm-hmm,
$100. So the fact that he did that, it was like, oh, so I had this whole thing planned for us, and because I asked you for $100 and you won't give it to me, you know what? F my plans. I'm gonna cancel everything. And this dude was full of stuff. He was full
mm-hmm,
of it, in my opinion, and it was a form of manipulation. My
Yeah.
thing is that when you're asking somebody for $100, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what this woman's situation is if you're dealing with her on a personal level. You don't know who she is,
Mhm.
you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and why, and depending on who she is and what she has, why would you ask her for $100 for her to say, you to even question it?
Mhm.
And say, "Oh, what do you need this $100 for?" If she really has to question $100, she needs her $100, and then she
Right.
might feel some type of way about this man, this able-bodied, man standing up here in her face asking her for money. First, oh, $20, and then, oh, let me just, better yet, make it 100. It's like, okay, well,
Mhm.
making 100 is not easy for me to peel off as it is for you. But it's like he just it was a form of manipulation. The way that he had the whole thing set up, and after she didn't give him the $100, she wasn't about anything. She was nothing.
But
So
like,
the
let's be
next time
real. It was
I
all a
ask you for
lie.
$100, you better give it to me, or else we're not going to go on this trip. I don't like that. It's like I don't like that quid pro quo type of, type. I don't like that. If you're going to do it because it's what you're supposed to do. You feel good about it. You're proud about what you did, not because you're going to even up the score and you're going to get some ass out of me or $100 out of me, or I'm going to come over and clean your apartment up or some crap like that. I don't like that.
But let's be real though. This is the whole thing is a complete fabrication. And that's like it's a complete fabrication. Do you know how you know it's a complete fabrication? Because the reason why businesses make you pay deposits is because normally you're booking something well in advance, right?
Mhm.
And then what they're doing is they're reserving a spot for you well in advance. But things happen all the time. Things happen
Right.
all the time, and suddenly people can't show up. So that means they're not going to give you that amount. But sometimes people cancel last minute. Like normally you have to pay the full balance maybe a week before something or whatever, right? But you might have booked that 6 months, a year in advance. And then these people have told other people no 1,000 times because they're holding the spot for you. And then a week before it comes and you can't make it anymore. Well, now they're out all that business. So this is where they came up with the deposit thing. A, to make people more invested in actually following through in a plan, but also because if you don't follow through with the plan, they keep your deposit. That is what a deposit is. It's normally a non-refundable fee that you are paying not for the full experience, but to literally hold your place. So
Yeah,
you're
normally, yeah.
right. So you're trying to tell me every single one of those things that he told us he paid a deposit on, every single one of them, they were all totally refundable fees. I no, I maybe you got a refund for the plane tickets if you had bought the insurance on them or whatever. But again, normally these are things that are totally 100% non-refundable, or maybe they'll refund some portion of your deposit, but they're not refunding your deposits in full. They're just not. And the
Absolutely not.
right,
Absolutely
the
not.
fact that he doesn't know that means that he's not
He
only has he never planned any trip ever, but he didn't plan this trip either.
he didn't plan
100%.
it, and if he did, he lost more than $100 funky that he was asking her for. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna keep calling it a funky $100 because you know what? Folks will be quick to call you. Oh, I didn't even really need that funky $100. You think I really needed $100? I just wanted to see what you was gonna do, and that's exactly what this dude said. Don't be
Hmm.
testing me. Don't be testing me over the long haul. 3, 6, 9 months of knowing somebody, you're gonna see the real them bleed through. So if you're really serious about me and we've gone through, like I said, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you've seen the real me bleed out.
Hmm.
You've seen, some, oh, well, oh, I've seen her get mad. She's usually not like that because, you can't be perfect. You can't be perfect. But this dude, he used that as a little manipulation thing because, like you said, if he had planned this whole trip, you have to put deposits down because we're not just gonna, give you this date and this time because we have other people who really want to do it. And guess what? You might cancel, and if you cancel, it's gonna cost you.
Hmm.
So we're gonna take some kickback in case you cancel. And he canceled the whole trip. He would have been better off saying, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm not taking you, and took another girl.
Right.
I mean, that would have been,
Right.
that would have been a whole different conversation. But dude, you lost more than your little funky $100 that you wanted from her because you had to put down deposits for this trip.
Yep.
Bottom
Yep.
line.
All
Exactly.
right. I think we might be going to a little overtime. So I went on and pulled up this lady's channel. But let's play this and let's see what happens and where the conversation goes.
So, and that's why you shouldn't judge somebody based off of a post or something you just seen or something you just heard. You really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So far this week, and this is not an ego thing. This is just who I am as a person. This is who I am as a man. This week, I posted a video of a man singing, right? I posted a video of he was a homeless man. He asked me if he could sing a song for me. I gave that man $40. While traveling to Omaha, Nebraska, there was a guy who was traveling. I met him. He was cool. And we had a long ass layover. And I said, well, just come with me, man. And I took him to the bar. I paid for him to get into the bar. I paid for his drinks. And I gave him $50 in ones to get himself a dance. You know what I'm saying? That was with traveling to Omaha, Nebraska.
What?
I just gave my mother some money. I'm always giving people money, man. You understand that? That's just me as a person. It's not about an ego thing. I'm always giving people money. You understand that? So with this woman, understand this, and people don't know what they're talking about. They said, well, you should have known the girl, blah, blah, blah. Me and this woman, we have been talking for about 2.5 months. And she's a truck driver. And I met her on the road, right? I met her on the road.
2 months.
So we can't date like regular people. I can't just go pick her up from her house, go have a regular date, and then take her back home because I travel and she travels. You understand that? So the trip to Colorado that I had planned with the zip lining and the whitewater rafting and doing all of these things, I planned on doing that stuff by myself originally, right? I planned on doing that stuff by myself. And me and her, we had hit it off. Me and her hit it off right when we start talking. Like we would be on the phone for hours just talking. She's funny. I really started kind of getting into her and vice versa. So I invited her to come to Colorado with me. I was going to go by myself. I'm still going to Colorado. I'm just not going with her. And the thing was, when I was just joking. I said, hey, let me get $20. Let me get $100. She was like, well, when did I get the money back? I don't blame her for asking when do I get the money back. I don't care about that because not everybody has just money to give people, borrow people. People have been through things. That's not what I was tripping about. What I was tripping about was, what is the money for? So as a man, I feel like it's all good. I'm booking this vacation to Colorado and I'm paying for everything. She didn't have to pay for shit. She wouldn't have to pay for nothing. And she didn't ask me to do that. That's just who I am as a person. I'm always.
I had to stop it. Okay. All right. Now, from what I read and what he's saying, two different things. He already had it booked for himself. He added her in there now.
What I say?
So you start off single, made it a double. Hey, y'all, add this woman on there. Then the excuse is, no, first he went, I know people, I can understand. I don't blame her for asking. But he blamed her for asking.
Exactly. It's like, dude, are you kidding me?
You just said it. But he did kept pointing, kind of person I am. I'm giving all the time. And I'm like,
you don't have to tell people the kind of person that you
are.
are.
Is hurt. That's
yes. You don't have to sit up there and give a whole disclaimer about I'm the type of person, and if you know me, I give money to my mother. Hello, your mother gave you life. She gave you life, so if you give her money, it's like it's a blessing. I mean, I'm sure she appreciates it. But to even mention that, some things are just unmentionable. And the fact that he had to mention it. But like you said, he already had this trip planned. So basically, he just said, oh, it's going to be just one. It ain't going to be two. So
He
take that
didn't even
under
do
resignation.
that. I don't believe you. You know why? Because he sat there and made sure to write down that he canceled the whole trip, got back his deposits. Screw
Right.
her.
He
Right?
didn't get anything
But
back.
no, but then everybody, because he didn't have a trip plan. But here, what happened is, right? Everybody pointed out exactly what I pointed out, right, in the comments and stuff like that. And he went, "Oh shit, they caught me. What do I say? Okay, well, oh yeah, it's stupid. Oh, I was already going on the trip, so I didn't know her for that long. But I was already going on the trip, and we had hit it off. So I said, okay, I'll let you come with me, I guess. But I didn't really cancel nothing, get no deposits back or nothing. No, because I'm still going on the trip. Yeah, I'm still going. Yeah, like it's
Right.
bull. It's all
And,
bull.
and
It's all
why did
100%
he have
bull.
to like dig his feet in so hard about this point? He like he took the stake and just drove it into the earth because he's gonna make a point about this. So the next woman that he asked for $100, bitch, you better give it to me because you don't know what I have planned for us. And that's what I call manipulation. It's like, dude, don't be trying to gaslight me.
Right.
Ooh,
Just saying.
let's play some more. Oh my goodness, this is too funny.
Always giving people things though, right? I wasn't tripping about that. I wanted to see what she had said. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't appreciate her questioning me like I was a teenager. Well, what do you need the money for? First of all, anybody in their right mind, you can go to my photos and see I don't live an average life, man. I have money. I work a job. I work hard for my money.
God.
You understand that? So I don't need $100 from no woman. Number one, let's get that understood. Number two, it just would have been nice for her. You know, it's all good when we on the phone and we gonna go zip lining. We gonna go on we gonna go on a hot air balloon. We going whitewater rafting. I had everything planned out, dates and everything. Everything's planned out. And when I ask you for $100, it's so what do you need it for? And anybody in their right damn mind would be like, that's some bullshit. And it is some bullshit.
No, Negro, please.
And I'm constantly giving people things. And people know who I am. People that deal with me in real life know who I am. This hair that I just got bleached, dude, hey man, he the homie. He's like, hey, just give me $60. I gave him $160. My man just did a photo shoot for me. He's a professional model. He said, well, man, just throw me $200. I gave him $250. You understand that? So I'm always looking out
pay for his services.
I'm always giving things that nobody ever gives me nothing. Nobody gives me nothing. I mean, my family,
You paid for service.
my family, if I need anything, they'll help me out, whatever. But I'm a grown man. I take care of myself. And I get tired of dealing with women who are not willing to invest into me what I'm willing to invest into them.
Dude.
No, you paying someone an extra $50 on top of the $200 you owe them for their services is not you giving them shit. You are paying a bill plus tipping. A. B, as I said. So now this trip that was all for him, right? He planned for himself, right? But then he planned for himself a whole bunch of dates, including air balloon and whitewater rafting and da-da-da. Like he can't figure out where he's starting with this. It's either he planned a trip for two or he planned a trip for himself and said, sure, you can come along. Right. But he can't keep throwing in, oh, look at all the considerate shit I did to plan this wonderful vacation for her and all the wonderful dates for her. You can't keep throwing that in and then turn around and say, I was going to go anyway before I met her. And then I was going to go after her anyway. And it's all going to be great anyway. Like he's so, oh my God, he's delusional. He's sitting there saying, I give money all the time. Like my boy, right? Like, yo, when I had to pay him for his services, right? Yo, he said, yo, just give me $200. So he already gave you a discount. And then you said, okay. And I gave him $250.
So why, if that, with that being said, with everything that he said, with the the vigor and the emotion and the strength in his gut in which he spoke those words, Why would you make such a big deal about a woman that you've been talking to for 2 months and you just asked her off the cuff for $100? You know, she doesn't know you. Even though you planned this trip, she probably had her mace and everything planned because she didn't know exactly how this trip was going to turn out. Yes, you were paying for the trip. According to him, he was footing the bill for the trip. But like you said, Ruby, if he was already going anyway, to add on a guest, you know, most times when you plan a trip, they'll book the 2 already. You have to go back in and take that 2 and make it a 1 because you're like, oh no, I'm going by myself. So it wasn't that big a deal. The dude was he made too big a deal out of it. Like he was just, you do this all the time. You're an altruistic dude. So why does it sound like you had so much blood, sweat, and tears behind this gesture of altruism?
Right. Altruism, my ass. I'm sorry. LaShawn just said the funniest thing he has ever said, in my opinion. So much muscle and so little man under the skin. I'm sorry. So much muscle and so little man under the skin. Bro, that is the best thing you've ever said, LaShawn. Yo, shut up.
Okay.
Damn.
The Broke Genius, it's actually worse. He actually went on tour.
He sure did. He
literally went on tour.
He went on a few YouTubers' channels talking about it, and it's like, dude, if you don't go, and my thing is his whole attitude. He seems angry. You know, he may describe it as passionate, but he seems so angry, and it's like, okay, well, calm down, Mister. I give to everybody. Then what did my funky $100 mean to you? It didn't mean anything. It was nothing. It was a drop in the bucket.
Right.
It was like toilet paper to wipe your behind with.
Well, we know that's not true for him. He really feels some kind of way. That's why I said,
some hella kind of way.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna go on and play.
It was manipulation. I'm sorry, because the next woman that he asked for $100, she better ante up on that $100, and don't you dare ask this grown ass man that you've only known for 2 months what he need the money for.
Yeah, see, because I met guys like this, and see, this is what they do, right? This is why I know it's a lie, because I've met him 1,000 times. And so what they do is this: they ask you for something like $100 because they need $100 because they're broke, and entitled and spoiled, and they're not going to go try to work for the $100 when they could just get someone to give it to them. And then when you don't give it to them, they get in their feelings about it. When they ask you just simple things like, what are you going to spend it on, right? These guys don't want to answer, right? And some women too, right? But these guys don't want to answer because they know that the answer is going to make you say no, right? Because it's something stupid like alcohol, parties, stupid shit. So therefore, they're not going to tell you what it is, and they're just going to get in their feelings, right? And then they are going to try to gaslight you, as you said, and make this person feel stupid for ever saying no to $100. Then they turn around, I never needed that money, no way, right? Just like when women say, I didn't like your D, no way, you is small, whatever. I just pretending I came 4 times that night, right? It's the same kind of mentality, right? I didn't need that $100, no way. I wasn't really asking, I was testing you because we were gonna go on a $10,000 trip, but you know what? I'm gonna pick up my phone and fake dial. Right. And he did better than Umar, actually turned off the ringer. So that way, if anyone called, he wouldn't get exposed, and pretended he was canceling a trip that was never planned to make her feel dumb for turning down the $100. That's what it was. I'm telling you. Fraud.
Let me play some more here. This is getting interesting.
And that woman who I was going to take on a vacation, she didn't ask me to go. I invited her to go. Mind you, this is a woman, and first of all, there was a lot of red flags in that situation that I didn't even bring up in the post. I didn't even bring this shit up in the post. This woman who's divorced from her husband still has her husband's name tattooed on her back. See, I didn't bring that up. I didn't bring back her response when I told her we wasn't going on the trip. I didn't bring that up. I didn't mention how, you know, she was, well, I can get somebody else to do it. I can go on a date with another nigga. I can do that. I got fellas hitting me. Then you need to go do that as a woman. You understand that? But yeah, men like I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that shit. I'm always giving people something. You know what I'm saying? And I do it out of the kindness of my heart. But when I'm dealing with a woman, it's so many women that they're not willing to give what you give them, though, man. You know what I'm saying? They not. And that's not the type of woman that I will want to be involved with as far as having anything with longevity. I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman like that. None of those things, though, man. You know what I'm saying? None of those things. You know, I'm talking to a woman. I gave this woman for her birthday. I'm not going to say what I gave her for her birthday. I gave her a lot of money for her birthday. She's never given me anything for my birthday. And I don't trip and I don't complain because my blessings come from the universe. You know what I'm saying? I do believe in God.
Right?
I do believe God takes care of me. And
you don't think this was tripping? You don't think canceling, apparently canceling a whole entire trip is you tripping off of $100? You don't think so?
It's fish grease. Hello?
God damn. This is amazing. Like the lies.
This isn't just a mild, oh, you know what? We're not compatible. This is what? This B didn't give me $100. Boom, I'm canceling everything. I'm like, oh, right. Okay.
The flip-flopping, and this made it so bad because this is his first post of trying to save himself. It just didn't work. He flip-flopping. You know, I don't care because I got money anyway. Well, I had it planned anyway. Well, I was going to go anyway. I give everybody money. Don't nobody give me nothing. This other lady, you know, I gave her some money. I ain't going to say how much, you know, for a birthday. But, you know, she ain't give me nothing. And you know, and that's how these women do, you know, they don't give you nothing. You know, but I ain't tripping. But I be giving this. And I gave my mama something.
You know what?
But, you know, I ain't tripping, though. Because, see, I'm always a giver. I give my blessings. But you know, these people be tripping. It's just back and forth, back and forth.
Mm-hmm. And he's the same man who will complain that, you know, oh, these women only want me for these material things, you know, but you're talking about how great you are, you know, with how much of a giver you are, and you don't ask for anything back. But, you know, if you don't get anything back, then it's going to be heard about from here until, you know, your funeral, you know, in 47 years. It's like, dude, it's like, I can't help but hear he just sounds like he is just so perturbed. He is just he's rubbed the wrong way. He's upset. How dare she? But I mean, it's like, okay, you know, I would really wonder whose idea it was for this effing trip.
Well, according to him, it is.
If it was his idea for the trip, okay, and you know, you liked her company and you want to spend time with her, you're going to say, hey, go with me on this trip. But a week later, I need $100. Well, what you need it for? You know what? I don't want to go on the trip with you no more. Right. He's like, hey, wait a minute. It to me, it was so quick, and he was just, you know what? This dude is the type of dude who would jump to conclusions before he got the full story. He would go and, you know, set a whole fire. And then once the fire is burning and the shit just burning down, then he'd be like, oh, I didn't know that's why you did it. It was because of that. And it's like he's just so intent on, he's a gaslighter. This guy is a manipulator. Just his whole demeanor. He's a manipulator. He's a manipulator.
He's very upset of how he, you know, even though he went viral, he's kind of happy about that, but he's the laughing stock of Facebook, and he doesn't like that. No. So that's what he's really angry about. He went viral because people are talking about him.
I want y'all to remember this term: histrionic personality disorder. That right now, I'm putting in my bet that this man has histrionic personality disorder. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that.
Yep.
Let's play some more.
The reflection of how I'm living, a lot of that comes from God. A lot of that comes from the universe blessing me because I bless other people. I'm always giving something to somebody. You know what I mean? But the response that that woman gave me, when you know this man, she knows I'm about to spend all of this money on her, and you're gonna ask me like I'm a teenager, what do I need the money for? You know what I'm saying? That was bullshit. Let that be known. Two, as far as the things that people are saying, you know, they sharing my post and we supposed to be grown. He's childish. You calling me all out of my name. You know, that shit really don't bother me though, man. Go look at my pictures. I'm a lone wolf. That's why the wolf is on my hand. You're not looking at no bitch ass nigga. I don't give a fuck about y'all sharing that post. I don't care about you calling me out my name. I don't care about none of that shit. If I felt that way, I would have took the post down when it started getting negative feedback. I don't give a fuck. I do not care about that shit. I'm a man for real, for real. When I say I'm a man for real, I'm not like the men that, you know, a lot of these women date. They need validation from other people. They need validation from the homies. They need validations from their friend. I'm a lone wolf for real. I'm a man by myself on my own 10 toes. I don't need a whole bunch of homies. I don't need a whole bunch of friends. But when you go look into my life, and anybody that's involved in my life, they're gonna tell you that little nigga handle business, because I do. And that's why I'm blessed to be able to afford to go on trips like that. You understand that? And I work a motherfucking job. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I don't care about that. But understand this. The same people that jumped on my page and you were so quick to share my post, and you were so quick to call me out my name, and you were so quick to, you know, young women, people who never met me, call me out my name, calling me all types of bitches, calling me all of these names and saying how I don't care about black women. Understand this, nigga. My mother is a black woman. My aunties are black women.
What?
My grandmother's a black woman. I've spent a lot of time advocating for black women. So motherfuckers that don't know me, you got me fucked up anyway. I advocate for black women all the time. Number one. Number two, while y'all sharing that little bullshit and y'all talking all of that shit, which it doesn't bother me, but I had to change my profile pic because while y'all all on there calling me names and calling me all out my name and shit, my 9-year-old son is in the picture with me. So y'all do all of that shit talking. Well, I'm grown. He's so childish. He's immature. Fuck this nigga. Niggas like him. Bitch this, bitch that. While my damn 9-year-old is in the picture with me. So the negative feedback that I'm getting, which is I didn't expect to get all of the shares that I got on that post. I didn't expect that. But now the negative feedback that I'm getting, I done shared the post and my son is in the picture with me. And the people that did that, that was some real bitch ass shit though, man. That was some punk ass shit. While you calling me all out my names and these young girls and the people that have never met me before in real life to know what type of nigga I am, you calling me all out my name and shit while my 9-year-old son is in the photo with me. No, that's bitch ass shit. You's a punk ass motherfucker. And to the men that's writing me, oh, you this for women and women this, you are a bitch ass nigga. You are a punk to me. And those are the same men that you'll say everything that a woman wants to hear. And she might marry your little beta male bitch ass, but the real alphas, the real top dogs, the men who really carry masculinity is fucking the shit out your woman. Because I don't give a fuck what y'all say, and I don't give a fuck what the women say. Don't no woman like no bitch ass, yes man, nigga that she could walk all over. And I'm damn sure not that. And I don't understand why a man would jump in my inbox with the lengthy ass message telling me how he feels. I don't give a fuck how you feel, nigga. I don't give a fuck how you feel. See, I stand on 10 about my shit. Deeply. I say what I mean, and I mean what the fuck I say. Okay. It's not gonna be, oh, you getting all of this negative feedback, Rain, because people didn't like what you said. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You see anybody around me though, nigga? You see any homies? You see anybody around me, nigga? I'm looking in this camera as a man, and I'm being myself. And a lot of you bitch ass niggas have a hard time being your goddamn self. A lot of women have a hard time being their damn self. A lot of people have a hard time being they self. So fuck you though. And ain't nobody mad over here. The post is where it's at. And it's gonna be where it's at. And we doing good over here, homeboy. My family's doing good. And as a single man, my son has everything that he wants and needs. You know what I'm saying? He has everything that he needs. And that's all I ask from God. That's all. When I pray, that's all I ask from God. I don't care about the material things that you niggas want. I don't care about looking cool. I don't care about being popular. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You understand that? You niggas go and you do everything for everybody else. Look how handsome I look in just this black ass hoodie, nigga. Y'all got me fucked up. You can say what you want. You can say what you want, but God made me who I am. And I'm sitting here in a motherfucking wave cap and a hoodie, and I'm still handsome than a motherfucker. So y'all got me fucked up, though, nigga. Straight up. But I want everybody to know you are looking at a man, and you are looking at the real deal, nigga. I am nothing like your little bitch ass nigga at home that you got to pay for, do things for, or none of that shit, nigga. I am me. I'm trying to do better. You know, God forgive me. I'm cursing a lot right now. I'm trying to do better within my spirituality. And I'm not letting nobody move my emotion. But the same people that's talking shit, the thing that bothered me the most is y'all was sharing my post, talking all of that shit. And I had my son in the picture. Fuck you, though.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell y'all what histrionic personality disorder is?
He's very perturbed. This is an example of what perturbed is. He is very perturbed.
He said he didn't care. And then he said he didn't care. And then he said he didn't care. And then he said what messed him up, what made him angry was that he doesn't care. And then, but what he didn't like was, and then he didn't care. And then what made him upset was
he cares a lot.
Oh, he cares very deeply. Well, watch. Histrionic personality disorder is a mental health condition marked by intense, unstable emotions and a distorted self-image. Okay? They have an overwhelming desire to be noticed and often behave inappropriately or dramatically to get attention. Their self-esteem depends on the approval of others and doesn't come from a true feeling of self-worth. Okay? So the symptoms include they feel underappreciated or depressed when they're not the center of attention, have rapidly shifting and shallow emotions. They're dramatic and extremely emotionally expressive, even to a point of being an embarrassment to self, friends, and family in public. Have a larger than life presence. Be overly concerned with their physical appearance. Use their physical appearance to draw attention to themselves by wearing brightly colored clothing and revealing clothing. They speak dramatically and express strong opinions, but with few facts or details to support their opinions. They are actually gullible and easily influenced by others, especially by the people they admire. They think that their relationships with others are closer than they usually are. They have difficulty maintaining relationships, often seeming fake or shallow in their interactions with others. They need instant gratification and become bored or frustrated very easily, and they constantly seek reassurance, approval, and attention.
Wow.
Anyone hear this man? It's like they just followed this man around and they just wrote down stuff about him. Like that.
Wow.
So interesting. Ooh, I'm glad he's not bothered because there's another 5 minutes of him not being bothered. And,
sounds like he was weaned a little bit too soon off of the tit and he didn't get his full time. You know, this guy needed to be breastfed a little bit longer because he was like, no, I wasn't done. I was not done yet.
He was breastfed too long. That's the problem. He was breastfed for too long. And so what ended up happening was because, mom, her nipples were sore now. She wants to stop. But every time she did, he would act a whole damn fool. Right? 2, 3, 5, 7 years old. And she's trying to get this man off the boob. But he was not having none of it. And then he'd be like, but I'm going to play in the highway then since you don't love me anymore and you want me to starve to death anyway. Right? And so then she was fine. One more time, and he'd be like, listen, you're too old for the boob now, son. Like you're 9. You're about to go to middle school.
9, girl. If you don't get out of here.
Do 9. You about to
I
start
would
middle
have
school.
a 9-year-old leached onto my breast. Milk out. After that,
He was
I had
like,
a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you don't get out of here, that's
then he's like, I don't care about no boo. I don't care at all. I don't care that you don't love me anyway. I don't need you anyway. I mean, sure, I'm gonna die of starvation and never have the proper nutrients I need, but it's fine. I don't care. I care. And he was on boob clear until like he went to college. Okay.
Oh hell.
You have this all wrong.
I'm going to welcome you, Kenshawn, and then I have a question for you.
Hey, Kenshawn.
Oh, hey, Kenshawn.
Good evening.
Good evening. Have you missed everything before you got here?
Can you hear me? Good night.
Yes, I hear you.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, so Yeah, I was listening to the because I saw there's a lot of reactions to it
So you didn't see my stream?
Mr. Samuels, but I have a question as well. You
Can you hear
know,
us? Hello.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, there
My
we go.
question was, did you see this show here?
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yes.
saw me from what, the beginning at 9:30 Central, or did you miss something?
No, I saw the video played and heard the reactions up to this point.
Okay. Just want to make sure you're up to date. All right. What would you like to add?
All right. I was listening to a show about an hour ago that spoke about um, the last 30 years and how boys, I guess, I guess women are saying that boys were not taught to cry and be emotional coming up, and and she went on to say, there were no fathers in the home most of the time in the 80s and 90s, and she equated that to the boys ended up not being able to express ourselves, and that is completely off. Which leads me to my question to you ladies. Do you know how we internalize our anger and how we internalize emotion instead of expressing it violently? Do you know how men do that?
Well, I will say that when we decide to talk about that, you are welcome to join the show, but that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing what's on the screen here. That's why I asked you,
Exactly.
did you
Exactly.
watch what had happened, which had
Yeah.
nothing to do with internal anything, what you just asked.
Well, to me, it seems like this gentleman is not going to pick up a gun and shoot anyone or harm anyone physically, but he's simply venting his.
Mm-hmm.
This is what women are asking for, right? And the man is doing it, and it's still challenging to you all.
Wait a
No,
minute.
but that's not what
What
happened.
are women asking for, and what happened? I missed that.
That has to do with this show, not from something you watched an hour ago.
Right.
No, I'm talking about what Armarian is talking about.
Okay.
He
So
called
what is
him
your
You're
question?
Omarion.
Marion.
He
Then
does
when
look
you
like
when you
Omarion.
what I'm saying is, so no, Shar. See what I'm saying. See,
Uh
this
huh.
is what a lot of women do not know, and what they ask for is for us to express ourselves without violence, emotionally.
But that's not what this show is about. This show is
It's
about the
not
fact
about that,
that
but
he
he's doing
posted.
that.
But do you
It's
know
not
what he
enough for you that
posted?
you
Because
guys
that's
though.
what the discussion is about. The discussion is about that he posted that he asked a woman for $100, and when she just asked him what it was for and when is he going to get it back, he then
Mm,
canceled apparently this trip he had pre-planned with her for them to take together, and got all of his deposits back. And then he went live again and then conflicted with that story, and he said that he had never booked a trip for her, he had booked it
right.
for himself as an individual, and that he never canceled the trip. He's still going without her, and he had planned on going before he had even met her. But then he said that he had to cancel all of the date stuff because everything was revolving around a date for her, and it was supposed to be for her. And then he said that he doesn't ask nobody for nothing, and no one ever gives him anything. He gives everybody everything all the time. So we're
Right.
discussing what the content of what he posted and what he's saying. We're not discussing the fact that the man has feelings. The reason why I talked about a histrionic personality disorder is not because the man has
Mm,
feelings. It's because of the dysfunction that we are seeing in him conflicting with his own words from sentence to sentence, where he is
mm.
literally like almost confused about his own story, and he seems to be making it up or lying about what he's saying almost
So
consistently.
may I ask, why did women come at him as he's going against women?
Okay. I have nothing to do with that. I don't know kind of what you're talking about.
Right.
I
Because
don't
he
know
I
if
have.
said
it's when
I
you.
don't know
women
what
are
you're talking
coming
about at
in his
all.
inbox and men are coming in his inbox, and I always advocated for women. Where did that context of women
How
coming
would we
at him?
know?
Like,
It wasn't us. We didn't do it. I don't know this man. This is the first time I'm even hearing about this story. So I can't answer a question for you, but what some other people did to some person I don't know. When I don't know those people, I don't know the situation. I don't know this guy. This is the first time I'm hearing this story. So that's all I can talk about.
Now it'd been nice
okay,
if you
so
asked whoever you're speaking of those questions, and then you could have added that to the conversation. That would have been great.
Right.
well, it wouldn't. In the last minutes of you playing it, he was like, "Why are these women saying that I always advocate for women?" And he was going on a rant. So I'm trying to find out why are they going at him, and his argument that he always advocated for black women and all this and that. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, but
He
Shar,
that
you could help me out with that.
he well that tells me you really didn't see the beginning of my show. So I'm very disappointed that you did not tell the truth on that.
I just said to you, I listened to what he was saying, so
You've been watching for the last hour and a half?
I'm trying to get the grip of
You didn't
Have you
like
been
watch
the
it.
watching for the last hour and a half?
He hasn't been watching it.
What is your synopsis,
Right.
Sean? What did you see?
um
We've been live for an hour and a half talking about this. So if you just came in the last 15 minutes, you missed the first over an hour.
Yeah, what is your understanding?
no because I I I think that you're just I think someone is avoiding something here, but anyway, it's not my place if I don't have the full grasp of the hour and a half that Classic Ruby is saying that I miss.
Right.
I listened to the video you played,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying to ask questions after the clip you played. You want to challenge me for 1 hour and a half, Classic Ruby?
No, because Shar asked you if you've been here since the beginning of
But
the stream, so
that's not
that
what I'm
way.
talking about here.
But see, the thing
You
is,
shouldn't challenge
sir,
me. Right?
sir,
I'm
sir,
asking a question
sir,
now. You're
I'm
challenging me
answering
an
you
hour
right
and a
now.
half.
I'm answering you right now.
Mm.
Shar asked you if you had been here
Which
from the
beside where
beginning
to the
of the
where
stream.
to the
Sir, if
video
you're going to ask
now?
questions, you should allow me to answer them.
But where to the
Shar
video
asked
now?
you,
You're trying to
Shar
discredit
asked,
what my
bro,
loyalty?
bro, if you'd let me finish my sentences,
Mm-hmm.
then you would know exactly what I'm trying to do. You
Mm-hmm.
ready?
That's an
Okay.
ad hominem, though.
Okay, but
Because you're
are
trying
you
to
ready?
discredit my loyalty as if
No,
I don't. Yeah. Go
literally,
ahead.
I am just replaying the last 10 minutes since you've been on the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Because Shar asked you if you had been here since the start of the stream. The reason why she asked that, right, is because if you only got here in the last 15, 20 minutes, you might not really understand what it is that we're talking about or the context in which we're making comments. Since the reason that we're commenting and we have the opinion we have is because of what we've been reviewing, which is this man's story over the last hour and a half. So if you missed that, then that means you might be missing some context. So if you had said, well, I got here 15 minutes ago, then maybe we could have got you caught up to date before you made comments about what it is we're talking about. Because the more that you make comments about what you think we're talking about, the more we're like, that has nothing to do with
That's
what
why I
we're talking
replied to
about
the
at
last
all.
clip. I was not replying to what you were already here for, and then you took me to
It's
that
the same
level.
clip. It's the same clip,
It's
sir.
the
We've been
5 minute
reviewing
clip
this
that I
clip.
listened to.
No, sir, this is not a
Mm-hmm.
5 minute clip. We've been reviewing this exact same clip for
Mm-hmm.
an hour and a half. It's the same clip,
And I
sir.
heard the same 5 minute clip, and I'm replying to it. And when you're insinuating is my half an hour lacking, it's not dealing with the clip questions that I'm asking now,
It's
which I'm
literally
trying.
not, because you're not even bringing up stuff that we
But
brought
we
up.
just
You're
listened
not
to the
bringing up
same
stuff that we
thing. That's why
commented
I
on.
asked the questions.
You're not commenting on anything that we've said in any context whatsoever. You are commenting on what other people on other streams and on other social media platforms are talking about. That's what you brought up.
Shar, did
So
I
we're
just
not
not
talking
ask
about that.
about Omarian's reply to why people are coming at him in his inbox and the relations with him and black women, how he always defends them?
Right.
What did I
You
say?
asked that question, but you
Mm-hmm.
missed. If you would have seen the show, you would have understood why he said that.
And I want to know why. That's what
He
I'm
said that
asking you
because
all.
he's just talking. He has nothing else to say.
So, Kent, my new question now is, how is he expressing himself in your opinion?
And
He's a
that's what
little.
we just read, um, that he has an issue.
hmm And now we're getting to the meat and the bones. So, is he wrong?
It's not a matter of wrong. We're just discussing, his entire demeanor.
Hmm.
To me, I feel like he's a little bit way too perturbed. He's a little bit too upset. I think he's a little bit too extreme. And guess what? He put this on a public platform. So therefore, you put your public stuff out there, people are going to discuss it. And if you like
Okay.
it, you like it. And if you don't, you deal with it. And that's the bottom line. And that's what Omarion is dealing with right now, Kenshawn.
Right. Okay.
He's being judged because he put this out there. That lady truck driver didn't come out here and put all her business out here. He did. Omarion put it out there. So if Omarion is being judged and people are feeling some type of way based on what came out of his mouth and out of his post from his fingers typing on his computer, putting up that post, he's got to deal with it. There's no,
Understood.
we're not going to put this on black women. Black women ain't got nothing to do with this.
Mhm.
Omarion posted that all on his own. So what do we have to do with that?
Nothing. I think I want to comment on the rest of his clip. I think it's wrong to say, what about your life? Look at my life. And then you're saying you're godly, and then you're repeatedly asking for forgiveness for cursing, and this is this is what we're talking about now in terms of the lack of self-awareness. LeBron James did that before, where he was like, okay, you making this comment about but my life is good tomorrow, as to say the person who was commenting life isn't. So yeah, it's kind of negative.
Okay. I ask and hope that you watch the replay of the show so you can see the full context and you'll have an opinion about it once you hear him from the beginning as well as our comments until the end. So I hope you do that.
Yes, indeed.
All right. All right. So we'll continue, ladies
All right.
and
Sounds
gents.
good.
Straight up. And as far as the woman that I was supposed to go on the trip with, she's a very nice woman. She's a little lost in the mind, but she's kind. But she wasn't ready to give to me what I'd be willing to give to her, so she had to go, man. You know what? And I'm saying, and I didn't bother to mention. See, I'll be 34 years old this year. The woman I was talking to was 43 years old. She has 3 children. Actually, no, she has 4 children by 2 different baby daddies. See, I didn't bring none of that shit up. So if I was to invite her into my life, I would have to take on her responsibilities. I would have to take on those children who are damn near grown. One of
Right.
them kids is close to my age. They're grown ass children. I'd have to take on everything that she comes with. And on top of that, I can't even get $100. This is the same man that's offering you to go on a
No,
vacation,
Oh my God. I'm
offering you to go on a
sorry.
trip.
no.
Not to mention the cash apps that I've sent her prior to that.
I have no, these things that he's talking about.
It's the gaslighting and the manipulation. I'm sorry. I
He's
am sorry.
right. I mean, to say that I didn't mention this, I didn't mention that, that had nothing to
No,
do with
how
the
is that?
post.
It,
Nothing
Right.
to do with the
and to make it
$100.
negative that she has 2 baby daddies. So
No, but I
what?
don't care if you think it's negative. Listen, I just
So
had a
what?
conversation with a friend today, and he said to me, like, he's like, "Listen, I need some Ruby advice, right?" And I said, "Okay, what's up?" And he said, "Listen, should I care about my girlfriend's sexual history?" He's like, it's pretty wild and low key embarrassing. And, she's even slept with some people at the gym that I work out at, and I was like, okay, here's the reality of it. The reality is, right, that your history is also wild as hell, and that, you know, ever since I've known him, he said that he loves whores. He would rather sleep with and date whores. That's his thing. So I'm like, so I think there might be something else going on too. But here's what it comes down to is it doesn't matter if it's fair or right or whatever. If you date someone, right, and you find out stuff about their life or their history or whatever, that makes you look at them like they are lesser, that you know, don't just stay with that person, because you're going to end up resenting them, looking down on them, and treating them like they're lesser, and they're going to have to act like they're lesser in order to kind of keep you. And that's not healthy or fair to anyone, right? So like if the person that you're with, I don't care if they have 2 baby daddies, 1 baby daddy, 6 baby daddies, they've been married 4 times, whatever it is, if that person, you know, it makes you look down on them or makes you look at them like they're lesser, right? So almost like you're doing them a favor by still dating them. You shouldn't be with that person anyway. Like
exactly.
At all. It's crazy.
And that's how he was judging her. Like, how dare she not give me $100 and she has 2 baby daddies?
And she's 43.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, wait a minute, dude. Okay, first of all, now we know he likes older women. Nothing wrong with that, and I'm not going to judge him on that. But he likes older women, but he tried to throw that back in her face. When I'm sure when they met and it all got going, he was after her, which is, you know, the true progression of relationships. You know, men tend to be after the woman. So he's the one who wanted this 43-year-old woman with 4 kids. She had 3. Oh no, actually she has 4 and 2 baby daddies, but I didn't mention that. Wait a minute, you must feel some type of way about that situation, and the fact that she had to ask when she was gonna get her little funky $100 back, which you didn't need anyway because you give so much to everybody and everybody. So that didn't mean anything to you, but you want to be sure that you're going to be with a woman that can give to you. But fool, you just said she has 4 kids. Wait a minute, 3. No, I mean 4. And 2 baby daddies, which means she's not with any of those fathers of her children. So she doesn't want to give you $100 and she's, you know, got 4 mouths to feed.
And he originally mentioned that he understood why she asked. And then 15 minutes later, I guess he don't understand because he goes into all of this stuff.
Because he's upset about it. This dude is upset about it. How dare you ask me what I'm going to do with the money, that your money that I'm asking you for me?
Right. Well, and like it's worse now that I know she has 4 kids, it actually makes it worse because I was just saying, hey, listen,
Ruby,
absolutely. Right? In general, as an adult, right? You know, unless you're independently wealthy, you've got a budget, make plans with your money, so on and so forth. You're not expecting $100 just to get up and walk out immediately. So yeah, you're going to want to know, well, what is this for? Is it worth me making that sacrifice, maybe not paying other things or whatever? And then you'd like to know when you're getting it back so you know how long you're going to be rearranging your budget. That's just common sense 101, even if you're a young single. But now he's talking about a 43-year-old woman who's already gone through her stripes and you know, probably ruined her credit, how to fix it and all that kind of stuff. Right now she's 43 with 4 kids. Yeah, $100 is 1 kid eating for the week or not. Right? So yeah, it matters. What do you want it for? And when am I getting it back? It matters. Just 4 kids. 4. Come on. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that part, David, click in on him. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. It's manipulation. It was gaslighting. And it's basically, and the fact that he put it out there publicly, he's like, look, I'm just letting you ladies know, hello, warning, if you're going to deal with a dude like me, and if I fix my lips to ask you for some money that I already don't need, you better jump and give it to me and don't be asking me a bunch of questions about it. BS. I have a problem with that, and I'm just going to take the whole man and just throw him away. Just take him, the whole man, and throw him away, because that, you know what? If he's manipulating her in this situation, this dude is a manipulator. He's a manipulator and a gaslighter, and you got to be very, very careful about that.
Yes. All right, I'll play some more.
The first week we was talking, I sent her $20. And $20 is not a lot of money, but it's enough to get you some lunch. And she's a truck driver. And I told her, I said, go get you some food. Go get you some food, while you're on the road. I just thought it was a nice thing to do. And it's so hard to believe that people just do things to be nice. A man is spending some money on some women. A man is spending some money on some women, and he's doing it out of control and manipulation. Let me tell you something. If y'all want to be the real deal, control and manipulation, baby, I don't need to control or manipulate no woman for sex. I look damn good. I'm going to say that again. I look damn good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say when the last time I had sex was, but I had 2 sexual experiences. Wasn't too long ago. And, I'm praying to God and I'm talking to God, and me trying to be a better man. I'm like, I'm kind of just tired of switching. I got to switch women all the time.
What?
I got to switch women all the time because I travel so much. So if I'm not in a real relationship with a woman and we don't have a relationship together, then, when I'm in that state, I might go on a date with this woman, or I might be in this state and I might go on a date with this woman. I'm in this state, I might go on a date with this woman. And, I've lived that part of my life at a younger age. And that type of life, it's old, man. I wanted something real with a woman. Not to mention the career path that I'm on. I got a lot going for myself. And I'm a business owner. I'm trying to grow that. I think, God will bless me more, and I'll get a lot more done with just being focused on what it is that I need to do and what I'm supposed to do. And building my business on top of building my career. I'm getting ready to purchase my own truck and hire somebody to drive it. So focus on these things. And when I'm tired of working and I want to go play or something, I got a wife. I got a wife at home, or I got a woman at home. So where me and her, we can go play, we can go do our thing, and then it's back to the money for me. I'm going to go get that chicken. You understand that? So all of these different juggling different women, that should get old though, man. But if I wanted to get some pussy, what in your motherfucking right mind makes you think that a nigga that looks as handsome as I do, because I am handsome, I got a nice body, I got a lot of shit going for myself, I don't gotta take no woman to goddamn Colorado to go get some ass from no woman? See, y'all got me fucked up. You don't see, that's why you shouldn't talk about people you don't know. I don't gotta go spend thousands of dollars to go get no pussy from no woman. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska right now. Do you really think that I can't go out here and have sex with a woman in this town if I wanted to, off of a little date? I'll just take her to the bar and go get some food, hit that shit, never talk to her again. See, I could be that man if I wanted to be that man. But I'm better than that man. You understand that shit? I'm better than that man. And, my mama just so happened to raise me right. My father, see, my mother and father are still married. They've been married. My parents have been married for 33 years. So I grew up watching a man take care of a woman. I grew up watching my father interact with my mother. So I don't get nothing out of, see, the thing is, they say, well, you use money to try to control a woman and to try to manipulate a woman. Manipulate a woman to do what? Manipulate a woman to do what, man? I don't live with a woman. I do not live with a woman. A woman does not provide for me. So if I'm spending all of this money on her, which is I was doing that out of the kindness of my heart, it's called courting a woman. See, a lot of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that Facebook cut him off, because I would like to hear the rest of this story. But all of that over him not caring, over trying to overshadow what he said in people's perception, which you cannot change. It's there. You can't change a person's perception.
Right. He actually cares too much.
He does.
I think the problem that he had mainly is people's opinion. And when you're on a public platform and you make very polarizing decisions and statements or situations, people are going to open their mouths and speak. Either you let it fall off of you, or you go and you defend everything that was ever said about you. And this dude has a lot of, fire in his gut. and he's here to let you know, he's altruistic and he's six-figure nigga. That's basically, those are the 2 points he was trying to make. And wait a minute, let me not forget. He's handsome and he can get any woman he wants, so he ain't gotta pay for it. He don't have to go all the way to Colorado to get him some ass. He's got a truck. He can get it right there in the truck, apparently, I guess.
I think what happened is this. He posted the story that I still don't believe is real, but he posted this story, and because it's like a shit testing thing and whatever, and that's very popular in the space, right? He thought he was gonna get mad praise and respect, yeah, no, whatever, and he didn't get the response from especially men that he was hoping for. And a lot of guys started calling him different things and da because his whole entire response was trying to paint a different picture of himself. Now, if this was about what the women were saying about how he treats women and whatever, he would have focused a lot on that, but he didn't really, right? Most of it was about what an awesome guy he was, how he's so altruistic, how he could just give money because he could just flex like that, and he's just this and he's just that, and he's just so good looking, he don't need this, he's just so good looking, he don't need that. It was so all about pumping himself up. It had really nothing to do with the original post, had nothing to do with even impressing women or whatever. It really was, I think, about getting that validation and kind of like cool points from other men, not so much about women at all, honestly.
Boy, I agree. When I think of, first of all, you shouldn't be testing anyone, right? And then you shouldn't be throwing things like, if people come at you and you're on social media, the last thing, if you're godly, you should be saying is, my life is better, how about yours? So that tells you what's inside their heart right away. And then when it comes to, like, we can get mad at how women shit test men, quote unquote, or girl test my man to see if he, and then girls, in the ladies salon, y'all have these conversations all the time. It's not wrong for you to do it to us, but when we start to say, what is our leverage as a single man, then it's money. So that's probably the only thing we can use for an assumed shit test. You can use a bunch of other things that leads really to the vagina. So you can use seduction and all these other things without money, because we don't want your money. So yes, he can be scrutinized, but what else can he use to leverage as a single man? He has his money, and then he was testing, and then he took it back. So I'm not saying he's right, but he's a man, and he's a single man, and single men with money can only leverage. I mean, if you leverage your body and your looks, that only can go so far.
Well, that's true, but the thing is that he wasn't really, the issue wasn't about what he was leveraging. The issue was about what he was using to shit test. And so I actually agree with you there. I don't agree with shit testing at all. But I'll say this, that when I'm reading the shit testing that, people do, it doesn't make sense to shit test a woman about money unless you want the woman to be your protector and your provider, which most men do not. So an effective shit test for women is not about trying to get her to give you $100. That's insane, unless you want her to be a provider for you, right? And to be generous with money. What most guys, a better shit test that guys give women have to do with them caring or nurturing. So, for example, like when a guy says, oh my God, I just lost my job, or, I'm falling into a deep depression. I think that we're going to have to cancel that vacation so I can get some therapy, or, stuff like that. Like they try to appeal to your emotional side. Do you care about me? Or is it just about my money, right? That, to me, even though I still don't agree with shit testing, if he had done something like that, I probably wouldn't be so anti everything. But I'm like, that's not what he says he did. First he said, "Yo, give me 20. Actually, give me 100." And he said just like that. And then she
Yeah,
just
like
said,
it
"Well,
was
what do you need it
nothing.
for?" Yeah.
Yeah,
And then she just
I
said, "What do
was
you need
like,
it for?
wait a
And when are you
minute.
giving it back?" And that was it. And he just
She's
went
a
off on
single
her.
mom, and he knows this.
Hmm.
And
Right.
he
And
didn't
it's
put
like,
in the
Well,
post and
he
all
also
that.
knows he's a multi-millionaire, and he. So I guess the problem I have with
It's,
people who are famous is they exhaust all of the sexual fantasies that we can ever have, and which leads him to doing something new because he's done everything else with every other beautiful woman at his feet. So maybe this is new to you to use. I have all this money. Maybe if I ask this woman who's in the average middle class, something may be hard for her to do, but let me see if she's willing. Once again, he can leverage his money that he didn't, because that's the only thing men have. We have something that women desire, which is hypergamy. And so he didn't. He actually asked her for hers to, I guess, to see if she would, do it, because when men know that we try to please women and they get things free in us hopes that we can get with these women, right? And so women just continuously get, but we understand that as men. So I guess him being a celebrity, trying all the other things in his 30 years and all these different women he's dealt with, this may be something new that he said, this may show me a different result if I ask a woman to give me something and let me see the result. Now, it would have been interesting if she had gave that or more to see the result of that. Would have happened? Start dating and gotten serious or whatever the case. But that is not the right way to do to shit test anyone. But
it's
yeah,
not
well,
Omarion
he
for
would have
real,
used
right?
a whole nother test on her for something else. He would have been beaten on his chest for something later on down the line.
But
This
wait,
Probably
you
dude,
keep calling
so.
him a millionaire. Hold on, Penshon. This is not Omarion, right? It's
that
not
really is
Omarion.
not.
No, he's not a multimillionaire. He's some YouTuber. Like, he's not a multimillionaire. He's not Omarion. This is not Omarion. He's
oh,
not
this
famous.
isn't a
He's not a
Marion.
celebrity. No.
Oh, he
I
could have
thought you
fooled
were
me.
being facetious, Kenshawn, when you were saying that, because I was being facetious because he does favor Amarion. But
Right.
no, that's not Amarion. That is
No.
so funny.
Now I really know you didn't watch the
No,
show.
I
But
know. I know this
it's
isn't no
okay.
Marion, bro.
But we're going to
I
continue
seen the
on
post. I
because we
see.
got a little less than 40 minutes, and I'm going to play a few clips from this interview. This is Real Talk with Yanni. This is her channel, and she was discussing the same thing we're discussing, and he saw it, so he came on and to explain again.
Yes,
So
I
let's see
saw
what he
this
got to
too,
say.
Shar. It's good. Yeah.
All right.
And I want to make sure that I'm getting it back because we don't know what she needed that $100 for. She could have been using it. She could have been giving you $100 that she was like, okay, let me move some money around. Let me give you $100. But it could have been coming from a place that maybe she needed. We don't know. And so I thought it was very wrong of you to blow up on her with a manipulative test
I
like
didn't
that.
blow up on her though. I didn't
You
blow up on
did
her.
because you were like, test failed. That was what your post said.
You're lagging
Right.
right now.
But it's like, why you as a single father, it's like, how are you not understanding of why she asked those simple questions once you asked her for $100 after only knowing her for two and a half months?
You were just lagging for a second. First of all, okay, I'll let you go. I'll receive you. I heard you out. Is it my turn? Do I have the floor
Yes,
now?
go right ahead.
Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna just reiterate. This is how the story went. I'm gonna just go into the story. So I was at the store though, right? I was picking up a few groceries for myself. The total. See, when people hear the story, they think that I just called her up, asked her for $100, and she said no, and then I was like, "I'll forget you. We're not going on a trip." That's not how it went down. So when I was paying for my groceries, which is I had the money to pay for my groceries, I said I was just joking with her. I said, "Send me $20." I was joking with her. She really sent me $20. And I looked at I looked at the cash app. She really sent it to me. I said, "You know what? Send me $100." And then from there, she was like, well, when am I going to get my money back? That was a legitimate question. And then I said, and then, or no, then she said, she said, when am I going to get my money back? Well, what's the $100 for? Right. So first of all, I really did not need the $100. And this woman who I'm still cool with her, she will vouch that I make my own money and she makes her own money. We're both financially stable.
But why would you? This is my thing. Why would you test a woman like that regarding money?
What's wrong with that?
What do you mean? Do you not understand that you are emasculating yourself when you ask a woman for money?
What I was doing was
what the hell is she talking about?
She was willing to be. I'm being genuine, right? I'm going on a trip. I'm taking her on a trip. I'm doing this, and like you said it yourself. You only known her for 2 months, but I'm not. And you know what? And you also said something about, well, you didn't plan on really dating this woman or having any longevity with her. It was a possibility. I did see red flags, but at the end of the day, let's say that I asked you to go to dinner, and you agreed to go to dinner with me tomorrow. You don't gotta go. Just because we go to dinner doesn't mean that I expect to have a relationship with you. Sometimes
no. You expect a 43-year-old woman to waste a night out with you just for fun with dinner? She's 43. She has 4 grown kids. She's not looking to play with you. Who said keeping it real with you? She's not looking to play with you.
So now, and I'll let you talk, and you still cut me off. And you can't say about my tone. So now it's considered playing. So let me ask you this as a how old are you? I'm 30. I'll be 34 this year. How old are you?
Old enough to know better than this.
So every man, you don't socialize with any man in your contacts. Every man in your contacts, you're dating. You don't go to dinner or do anything else with him unless he's your man and you have some kind of relationship with him. That's what you're saying.
It's called courting, though.
Because I know a lot of women who we are just friends. I have business partners. All of these things. Just because we go do something fun like a vacation, which is I have the money to afford, that doesn't mean it's supposed to turn into something.
Sorry, those text messages were at 10 p.m. to about almost 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't text a woman that you're not intimately trying to be engaged with in that way.
Let me ask you this. You still cut me off, and this is why I got to get. This is why my tone kind of goes up, because you don't let me talk.
You're just not making sense.
The woman on those text messages, if you bring those text messages back up, who asked who to go to dinner? I did not ask her to go to dinner. She asked me to go to dinner.
Why would she ask that? Is it because you're leading her on?
No.
A woman would never ask a man randomly, hey, do you want to go to dinner?
Hey, hold on. I'll bring it up for you. Matter of fact, you can bring those text messages up. The text message was her asking me to dinner. I said, sure.
But why would she ask you that?
Ask her that.
Because once you posted that Facebook thread, or once you made that Facebook post, we just assumed that was it. That was over with. You probably told her that you didn't want to move forward.
Actually, me and her had a conversation. We had a conversation. Me and her are still cool.
But that's what I'm saying. You are leading her on by doing that. You are aware of that, right?
Tell me, as a man, what am I doing to lead her on? You can tell me I'm leading her on, but you can't tell me what I'm doing.
You don't go from one situation where you're planning a trip, you guys are going to be hanging out. Everyone knows that when a woman gets fooled out. Everyone knows that when a woman gets fooled out, sex is expected from a man. A man is not tricking on you in that way unless he expects that.
So if you are talking, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but no, men and women, I don't think that's leading. I don't think a woman saying, hey, do you want to go to dinner? And I say, sure. I don't think that's leading anybody on. I can go to dinner with you tomorrow, pay for the whole entire thing, and never talk to you again, and it wouldn't mean nothing to me. How much does dinner cost?
So you wanted her to be emotionally invested in you by having these late night conversations, talking about how, we can't traditionally date. I can't traditionally court you, but I am interested in you. But then you want to gaslight her and say, well, I don't know why she would be asking me.
This is the narrative that you're putting on me.
I'm going off of what you're saying.
Leading her on emotionally? Those text messages were her texting me. prior to her texting me, I was doing my own thing. She texted me. That's what you create in your woman mind, that I'm gaslighting.
After you have made this woman emotionally invest in you for 2.5 months.
She's not emotionally. Can I do something real quick? Hold on. I'm gonna put her on the phone. Hold on. That's what we're gonna do. The woman that I'm calling.
Char, can I say something, please, right quick?
Please leave your message for 9.
Okay, her phone's on.
And then Yanni laughed.
I'll call her.
Did she block your number, sir?
No, she didn't block my number. I'm not blocked.
Please leave your message.
I'm not blocked. Give me a few, and I'll call her. But me and this woman, she doesn't feel. Look, hold on. Here's the text messages. She said it herself. That's why I'm trying to understand why y'all are steering this narrative.
Because you emotionally, you got this woman to emotionally invest into you.
This is her word. This ain't my word.
You want to gaslight her and make it seem like, I don't know why she's asking this. I don't understand why.
Look at this.
That doesn't make sense.
This is what I said to her. Hold on. Well, you can't really see it.
We can't see it.
Okay, it says you don't have to. She said I couldn't really defend you in this situation, this blow that we were talking about it. She said, and I told her, I said, you don't have to. Once again, you were a female victim preyed upon by the big bad wolf, the man, me. She said I wouldn't say all of that though. This post is really getting some major attention. I think this is the post that y'all have on there. The thing is, she's not tripping about all of this. Everybody who's talking about the situation is talking about all of it. And then there was something said about, oh well, now you want to, as a man, settle down and find a good woman because you're getting old and you don't have it anymore and you don't attract the women that you want anymore. That sounds ridiculous. I'll be 34 years old this year. If I wanted to just go out and sleep with women, that's what I would do. I'm handsome enough to do it. And the thing is, and when people hear that, and you're lagging right now, so I don't know if you're trying to talk or not. So I'm just going.
When you're people hear me settle down now.
He's used to having one-sided conversations. I don't know if you're lagging right now, so I'm gonna keep talking.
It's called, oh well, he's arrogant, he's conceited, he's all into himself. I bet he talks in the mirror. How come women? But when women do it, it's considered affirmations. When a woman looks in the mirror, it says, "You're powerful, you're beautiful," and doing all of these things. Those are called affirmations. But because I do it as a man, it's called arrogance. I don't understand that.
Sir, no one spoke on that situation. What I'm saying is, right before you went into bragging about yourself and your appearance, you talked about how you ran through a bunch of women and you laid down with a bunch of women. That's what you said.
I did.
Okay, so now you're wanting to settle down at 34.
How many women have slept with a bunch of men?
And look for a genuine connection.
How many women have ran through a bunch of men?
I can only speak for myself. I'm not the type to just be out here laying in everybody's bed.
So these women.
Greetings, esteemed noble.
And when a man is in high school, his early 20s, he's probably getting down with some women. Women are getting down with men too. That goes both ways. So the fact that you bring up, you say that you were dealing with these different women. There's no shame in who I was at that time. That's who I was at that time. I still stand on that.
So how do we know that you have changed?
See, it's not my job to prove to anybody that I've changed. That's not the narrative myself. I don't care what no women thinks about me. I don't care about
why are you on Yanni's show?
I think for myself and how I think.
So why would you ask a woman for money?
I didn't need, baby girl. We don't even carry cash. It's called cards. Okay. I didn't need the money. I wanted to see how she would react when I asked her for it.
Why would you put a woman in a masculine position?
Because you want to know why?
And then you place yourself in a feminine position.
No, I didn't.
Tell him, Yanni.
That's what I said.
Okay, if I place myself in a feminine position, then how come she's still trying to go to dinner with me and still sending me these text messages?
Oh, that remains to be seen.
For her. That ain't my business.
Okay,
exactly.
As a man,
is my quality. I don't know what type of. I don't know what type of quality women you out here dealing with, because she out here, she could be a whole lot lizard for all I know. All
She's
I'm
not that.
saying is, a woman of
She's
my
not that.
quality, I would never allow you to put me in that position to where you're
Okay.
asking me for money.
And a woman.
And in the process, you're emasculating yourself by putting yourself in a position of a woman to receive. Now, the whole point of a man investing as a woman is so that she will multiply your investments. That's the whole purpose. But if you're expecting for her to reciprocate in the way that a man would, you want to be with a man. You don't want to be with a woman because a woman is going to
now I'm gay.
No,
I'm gay.
because I don't play that on here.
That was disrespectful.
No,
that was
He
disrespectful.
wants a masculine woman. He wants a woman to be head of his household.
I can't call you a feminist, but you can say that. That was disrespectful.
That's not disrespectful. You should not. Knowing your sexuality is not disrespectful because I don't play that on here.
Let me say this: a woman, the same way that women test men, first.
She wasn't my wife, but I was providing. She wasn't my wife, but I was providing the trip, correct? I was providing the not used to attracting women. I'm somebody that you were emotionally invested. How are you going to be emotionally invested into somebody you've known for 2 months? Exactly. So why else would you go on this trip? Why because I wanted to. Because
you had histrionic personality disorder,
or you were trying to be sexually invested. Either way, I was just a man that was planning on going to Colorado and met somebody that was cool and told her she can come with me. Okay, see, just because the majority of men don't move like that, that doesn't dictate how I move. But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Trip, first of all, we're talking about Colorado. Colorado trip is not expensive. It's Colorado. That does not make sense, though. It don't make sense to you. If you're not emotionally invested in her, you're not trying to be sexually invested in her. Why did you want to take her on this trip? What was your reason? What was your intentions behind why you wanted to take her on the trip? To go on the trip. Cheeky. No, what were your intentions? Hold on. Cheeky.
Okay, we don't care much about Cheeky. Not yet. Cheeky is someone that he's over her house in a particular state that he's in. They did see each other at one time. They're not interested in each other. And I want to get to when he contacts the truck driver.
Exactly.
That's what I want to get to. But while I'm doing that, you guys can go ahead and weigh in.
Yeah, I wanted to
How far
just.
do you want me to go in?
Let's see what the question, Kenshawn. I'm sure you're going to ask something that has nothing to do with
go
this.
To the
Let him go first.
Oh my gosh! So, I two things I disagree with here.
Okay.
One, I have a lot of platonic friends and relationships with women. I don't know what the hell Yanni is talking about. In fact, when you are doing the best for women you know, they multiply what you give them, and it doesn't have to be a marriage or a relationship sexually. So I don't know what Yanni is talking about. Somehow a woman has to only be sexually emotional for me to even communicate with her? What the hell are we? Where do we live now?
When did Yanni say that?
Hold on,
if you don't quit exaggerating, she did not say that.
No, but the point that she was making with that point, though, wasn't about that. It was about the fact that that's the reason why a man financially will invest in a woman, because a woman is going to multiply, right? So that's why it works.
No, that point I agree with. I'm talking about the fact that it's a stereotype that men should only communicate for 4 hours until 1 a.m. because I'm sucking her emotionally. Now I should now force that to be sexually desired after 4 hours of speaking to her until 1 a.m. Maybe she's enhancing the business of both of us getting money at that time in the morning.
At 4 a.m.? Would you go on a vacation with her, Kenshawn? Would you pay for a vacation with your platonic friend you're not going to sleep with at all?
I'm just going to finish here because most women are in the gutter. They probably think that after 1 a.m., the only thing I can be thinking about is getting in her panties. I disagree with Yanni. No. Yanni and women like that, putting that out there, totally wrong.
Okay, well, we're talking about him, not Yanni. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just borrowing some information from this guy. That was it.
Yeah.
But what is your second point? And then I'll let Cerulean talk.
No,
and then we'll play some more.
That's it. He's wrong, and he's going on. He's he's just on so many levels. This is a young cat, and that's all I can say. He doesn't know what he's getting into.
So you don't agree with her?
Okay,
opinion.
couple of things.
No, I don't agree with him. But I don't agree with Yanni putting
They're all
men in
wrong.
one boat to not have platonic women friends.
Okay.
All right, your turn,
Right.
Cerulean. Go ahead.
Couple of things, just from observation. Right? He's expecting some kind of emotional reciprocation after 2 months.
Right.
Okay.
See, here's the thing about money, right? We did the story around New Year's about how women got into the position that they got into. But when it comes to black women who just got their voting rights in 1964, have only been able to make their own money for like 58 years. And then she meets this derelict Negro male after 2 months and is expected to give you $100. Not even emotionally invested. Oh,
Right.
but you're wanting this woman to reciprocate what you claim that you're willing to invest in her after 2 months. Sorry, buddy, it takes a little bit longer than 2 months. I know that you might have some issues with emotional clinginess.
Yep.
But
And
your
this-
average, sane, red-blooded human does not. Which means that if you're going to ask her for $100, $20, make it $100. It's like, and then get to crying about, oh, I don't like the way she was, asking me what was it for, like I was some kind of a child. Well, look at the way you reacted.
He threw a whole tantrum.
This
Look
is
at the
why
way you
Mr.
reacted.
Samuels
Can you say that the woman that denied the $100 was wrong? Because if you felt like a child, you probably were one.
Yep. And I understand now why Mr. Samuel says these young guys at age 25. I do understand now why women should not date them seriously. They look at it displays right now. Young cats.
You understand why? Who said what?
Mr. Samuel said these young cats, they're not relationship ready. Somehow they're doing the shit test.
Please look for further reference. Please don't quote a guy who says that certain people aren't relationship ready when his life proved that he himself was not relationship ready.
But he was right on that. Women should not think long term on young guys, relationship wise. I'm sticking to that.
But this guy was 34, so he really
I don't care. He could be 50.
He wasn't
He's
25. He was 34.
He's a young guy in his mind. You see, what is he?
So now women are supposed to go and evaluate how young the man is in his mind, not the chronological age. Like, come on.
Cut it out. Stop. We can't do every damn thing. It's like, come on. Hell.
No,
he will learn today, though. He's gonna learn.
No, because now you have to issue a psychological eval for every guy that it takes interest in you. That's what he's saying.
In advance, yeah. And see, the thing is, what I think is crazy, because I agree with you, Cerulean, but I wanted to, because for me, it's not even about the fact that he wants an emotional investment from her. It's the fact that women don't show their emotional investment by buying men things. That is not.
That is wholly a man thing. Right. Men display their emotional attachment with money because we have a difficult time quantifying more complex
that's what I
such as love.
Earlier. So I said that to Classic Ruby earlier. The only thing we have is the power of woman's hypergamy. So we have to give them things freely and hope that we can get what we want out of them. And so that is
Kevin
odd
said,
for him.
and Kevin said, 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 and Kevin Kevin said, and 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 Kevin.
Shut up.
Man, them kids out of control, man. They need to be learning their damn lesson.
All right.
They were taking a little recess. That's called recess.
It's brilliant.
Because Kevin said.
Okay.
I can't even hold it.
Break it down, Gray.
Because Kevin said.
Shut up.
You know, here's the thing though, and the thing is, it doesn't matter how many times that we try to explain to men that just because some dude you might like or respect in this space comes up with some theory doesn't mean it applies to reality, because the reality of women has always been, right? Just even if you want to be a traditionalist, men protect and provide, women nurture and support. So if you want to shit test a woman, I don't agree with shit testing, but if you wanted to, what you would do is you would do something like pretend that you're having depression, pretend you need her to cancel her own plans to help you or something, and see if she will nurture you or if she's selfish. Like, you don't say pay me $20. Then she did pay you $20 and then go, well, pay me $100, and then throw a tantrum when she doesn't give it to you, or she could right away.
I totally agree.
That's an interesting take, Ruby. Let's just reel it back, right? Because what I think is what happened here is just as it played out. He threw a tantrum, right, and it didn't go the way that he intended, and then to kind of back down off of all of that nonsense. So, I was testing her. Look, it's kind of like when you're on the, when you're a kid, you're on a playground, right? When your friend says some like off color, kind of off color stuff. And it's like, what did you say? It's like, man, I was just joking.
Yeah. But you were, yep.
Like, let's just understand testing, right? You only test people that you're unsure about. Just like when you go to school, you go to school, do your homework, and then at the end of the quarter or what have you, there will be a test. Why? Because they're unsure that you even absorbed any of the information.
And I have a reply.
That is the purpose of a test. So, in other words, why are you doing all of this for a woman you're unsure about? That's the question.
Right.
Oh, well, I know what the reality is. The reality is that one, he was trying to buy this woman's affection. Right? And why did he post it to social media? Because this now is advertising.
Okay.
This is not advertising for anybody else. This is the advertising for women, because look, women, look how great of a guy I am. I had this magnificent, supposedly, trip to Colorado planned out, and this woman, I just was testing her to see if she would give me $100 to reciprocate emotionally. Women just started making their own damn money 58 fucking years. Black women specifically just started making their own damn money 58 years ago, and thinking that she's gonna easily part with it with 4 kids.
Yes.
Gotta be a little more emotionally invested in you. There's a reason why she has 2 baby daddies, because it were probably a lot like you, buddy.
Facts.
But that very well may be the reason why you're in the fucking picture with your son, because your baby mama probably realized what kind of guy you are. Because if it that strongly, why don't you go back and repair the relationship you have with your child's mother?
Since he's such a great, handsome guy. Yeah.
Because Colorado sounds like an awesome family trip.
Right.
Lest ye be adverse to family.
Yeah, kids love ziplining in hot air balloons. Definitely.
They do. Ziplining is fun.
One of the things psychologically I've noticed, is a little girl and a little boy coming up. Um, we were taught to, be the, I guess bring the candy, and for the little girl, and bring her things to make her feel softer. And as we've grown into um, where men feel like, okay, the only thing we have is money. Um, and so it is kind of weird that this gentleman is doing this in the receiving manner, and then he can't take that same energy from Yanni when she questions him. That's a woman's place to be doing that.
Look, if he's acting this obtuse with Yanni, the person he just met minutes ago,
Right.
He just jumped on her string. Yeah.
He sure
then
did.
you know how tragic it had to be the way he acted with the girl he knew for 2 months.
Yeah, and let me see if I can find that part
She
where
came
she actually
on
calls.
right when she came on, Char, because she really said a mouthful, and you would be like, okay, he's not sounding really good here.
Right, and I really want to find that, but we're getting close to quitting
He stuck
time.
his foot in
And then
his
to
mouth, Sean. So hold on to
to
your seat.
reiterate, I don't really care what anybody thinks of me. Really, who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself?
He's been online every day, all day. Let me see if I can find this.
I don't gotta lie. I don't gotta lie. I don't have to lie. I'm a beast.
Exactly.
I don't
But
have
just
to.
because you're not a liar doesn't.
Let me tell you this. So if this was a woman that I was
Time you were trying to rush.
okay. I really
well, what do you need it for, or what are you doing with it?
I never try to make you sound bad on this show. That's not what they're gonna have to cut a check, love.
Well, what do you need it for, or what are you doing?
Coming in.
My understanding of that was simply that you're a single mother. You're probably limited on funds and resources. You want to know where your money is going, correct?
Well, it's not even if the fact that I'm limited on funds and resources. My resources are fine, but the way he asked me was questionable. So I questioned it. And then, I mean, even if the way he asked me wasn't questionable, yeah, the way I would have asked, like, okay, are you in a jam? I mean, that's why I'm like, are you in a jam? What's up? What's going on? I mean, because look, I don't just give $100 or $120 away just because somebody step up and ask.
And we respect that, but no, because they're gonna have to cut a check they're gonna have to cut a check, love. I'm gonna call you back.
What? And then
you're
using all of these love bombs phrases.
She got other emails. Yeah, she got other emails from all of these women that we about to go through. So
this is where his forehead got all big.
We wanted to talk to her. Let her talk.
Histrionic personality disorder.
Because I said
told y'all.
No, Pete.
Like that.
This is how you know it's all bullshit, right?
He's trying to make money.
This is how you know the jig is up,
I'm
right?
gonna send you her YouTube.
Even when she gets into the mic, right? It doesn't even go as expected. Right?
Exactly.
It's like, hold on, let her finish. Nope.
No, but see, at that point, he wants to make content money. So he's telling his friend, look, let them come to Patreon on OnlyFans if they want the rest of this info.
You're right,
You
Ken.
didn't get
exactly
that
what
part.
he's saying.
But
Those are delusions of grandeur. In order for you to believe that, you have to believe that her email and his email is full of a bunch of other women's panels, right? That they've been invited to and are getting paid to show up and tell their story.
Exactly.
So that's what he said.
So
that's
at this
delusional.
point, it's content. And so I want to also agree with Classic Ruby. I think because I remember seeing a post where a gentleman said that, honey, I'm going to be out of work. I just lost my job and I'm kind of depressed for the next 3 months. Can you hold up rent? Can you hold up the bills? And I think I saw that the reply from the female was, well, why don't you, just suddenly do this? You're going to have to do something. I just can't hold up everything for 3 months. And I think men should not do this. But that was a proper shit test, because he told her he was in depression. He told her he just lost the job, and she vehemently denied that she would take that 3 months on for him. And so yeah.
Well, men are not allowed to rest in their femininity, and women didn't make up that damn rule. Excuse me, but men are not allowed to rest in their femininity. So, that woman probably made the best decision she possibly could make at that possible moment.
But would you agree? Sometimes I may have to stop working or get injured, and if you're my wife or a committed couple, you will have to take on those 3 months if you're working, if you're living in 2022.
You're absolutely correct, Kenshawn. That happens, and you know what? That actually happened in a marriage. That happened in my marriage, and
you're great. I'm grateful for you doing
discussion.
that.
Let me finish. There was no discussion as to how the bills were going to get paid and how things were going to get done. Because if he no longer had a position, then I was going to do what was necessary. But at the end of the day, that man did everything he could to come out from under that in no way, shape, or form. In the time that system went on, was he ever comfortable? Was he ever? He was never comfortable, and he never slept past 5 a.m. And that was nothing that I had to put on him. I was just like, oh, okay, well, okay, you're having a bad time. We're married. I'm going to take care of things. And that's the way it moved. It wasn't like, what? You don't have a job? Because he wasn't that type of man. At the end of the day, that was the man that I married. And he wasn't that type of man. So he made sure he got back on the other side of it. I didn't have to push or prod or threaten or do any of that. He did that all on his own, because he was a man before he met me, and he was a man after we were together.
We appreciate him and you and your mindset. What I think what has happened here is, without all the variables, I think a man would like to know just simply that she's capable and willing. That's it. I mean, with all the variables, it's all good.
No,
but we just
see what you're not understanding. There's a difference. There's a difference between what Vonda said.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Right. And see, that's the thing. First of all, he's saying it was a game, but forget that it's a game for a second. There is a difference between you being already in a committed relationship, right, or married, and you are just courting each other now, right? So there's a difference there, first of all. As far as like once you're already committed and connected, right? If you are functional in a functional relationship, then y'all have like a community pool of money. You guys have decided to join your lives together to accomplish this goal called life. That is different than when you are courting someone, right? And so to expect a woman to step out of her femininity and now to take on not only the men's providing role, but that, if she doesn't, then that means she's not invested enough in you, or she doesn't care enough about you, or she's this or she's that. It doesn't say anything about her, because as a woman, right, our natural instinct is to what? Nurture and to support, right? And so again, if you're going to shit test a woman to see if she's with you because she loves you, or because she's a good woman, or because she's going to stand the test of time, you don't test her by seeing if she's willing to pay $100 bill, right? You test her by seeing if she's willing to care about your life in some way, if she's willing to make some type of personal sacrifice as far as her going out and having fun, or staying with you and consoling you because you just lost your job, even though you didn't. If you were going to play a game at all, then you should be testing the right thing. And the thing is that this guy doesn't see that literally what he was testing was her ability to step into the head of the household role, right? And for her to be very comfortable and happily, blindly, financially provide. And if she doesn't, well, then she ain't shit. And that says a lot more about him than it does about her.
Exactly. And you shouldn't try to understand men who are young and haven't decided
He's
what
not
they
young.
want. Like I said, young minded.
Stop saying that. He's not young.
He's young minded, and women should look past the looks, the 6-pack and the 6 feet, because this is their mindset.
He's halfway through his life already. If you
It's
look
a,
at the
it's a shame.
statistics.
Hey, it is a shame. But my thing is, you know, when we say 56 years women have been working, right? I've heard I have 5 sisters, and 2 of my sisters, they fervently believe since women have now fought for something for 56 years, they shouldn't have any hypergamy left, or the man provide, since you're able and capable and fought to do the same thing. I'm not saying 50-50. You're working now in 2022. You shouldn't even be looking for a man to provide, because you can do that too. Two, you graduate more and more degrees. So this is what my sisters are. They're both married, but all I'm saying is 56 years women have been working. Is it? Do they want the same traditional man from 1930? Do they want the cake and eat it too? I'm not defending Rasta here. I'm just saying these are things we have to look at. It's a
All
conversation we need
right.
to have.
Yeah, I'm not sure when those conversations are going to have. It's going to have to be when it pertains to what the content is, because that just becomes in circular arguments. You say this because you believe that, and you heard this over there, and you talked over there, and we just don't do that on my channel. So make sure you tune in at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I only stream on Fridays with open panel, so it's only one shot. So come here, get here on time, everyone. On Saturdays, I stream at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a closed panel. That's when we have the article reactions. We have that every Saturday, Central Time, people. I hope you guys get here on time. I hope you enjoy the show. And until we meet again, peace.
Cheers, y'all.